Here we are with Godbound, Evicting Epistle, or was it just Epistle? I don't remember. Season 1, Episode 12. We are in October 2018. I am Devin, the referee, and to my left we have X, playing Y.
Nicole playing Thea.
Tyler playing Mattiel.
Kevin playing the Crimson Marquis.
Peter as Azazel the Goat-Headed.
Mark as Lothar.
Gang, what happened last session?
We went to the north, and we emancipated some women there, solved their problems, and took them with
It's
us.
2018, you can't do that to women.
What?
Women of the Machine.
Oh, right.
Who aren't actually all women. They
Yes.
just have that title. So.
Just their name. You don't think the Toronto Raptors are actually Velociraptors, do you?
I mean, that would be
That'd be
nice.
pretty awesome.
I would definitely love basketball.
It would make the game.
I would love Toronto at all if that was the case. That one team.
Also, we killed a thing. I can't remember any specifics about it, but we killed
It was
it.
Gigan.
It's a Shemzerot spawn.
That's right.
It
And
was
it
not
died like a
Shem's Rock
bitch.
spawn.
It was a thing protecting
It doesn't
us.
matter what it was, because it's dead.
It's a kaiju.
It doesn't get more than an egg.
Yeah, we killed the thing, got a bunch of chicks, put them in our city. We're like, hey, you should please make the airship machine tower.
Now that you're in our city, you're our slaves.
And
Do
they're
this
like-
for us.
They're like,
And then
okay.
Mattiel actually did it, because he had the minion.
You also got spare parts for killing Gigan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Godwalker parts, because he was a Godwalker monster, which I'll fill out when next season starts. 'Cause
Also-
did you put in like the writing for your power ship?
No, because I haven't gotten around to making it yet.
It's a work in progress. They're laying down the fuselage and stuff, and you gotta get it all going.
Also, for the listeners, this time when I say chicks, I don't mean birds.
Yeah, no. Despite Mark's
Did someone
consistent
say
insistence, this is not bird related.
Consistence.
Consistence.
And then we had a beach episode. We went to the beach, to the zoo, and we had some fun.
Oh fuck! I forgot that even happened outside of my dreams.
I mean, everyone forgets
Also,
about the beach episodes.
I have more questions for them, but I forgot to ask them at the time.
Yeah, no. You can come back during feeding time.
Not for them specifically, I guess, for the gods. I meant the people. But yeah,
What do you want to know?
I want to know where their souls go when they die.
I haven't.
Do they actually, though?
Probably not.
Right? That's
I think
what I
they go to God when they die. They're like, no, we go to Queta when we die.
Into Quaita's stomach.
To Queta, and they'll fish him out of the water when they're like cleaning his underbelly for parasites, and they'll show him like his big fat belly where there's a bunch of little like caviar orbs full of souls. And they're like, to Queta.
Oh man, forbidden caviar.
The forbidden caviar.
Why would be forbidden?
Because I'm gonna eat it all.
How bizarre.
We go to Queta.
You can't make that.
Do you are you reborn in this capacity, or
I don't know. We should probably ask when we go to
Doesn't
speak with
matter.
them again.
We better ask before we get this auto whisk and like make it into like a fondue.
A really good
I mean,
omelet.
it says we're already eating that.
You can't eat his stomach open and take all of his souls unless you're gonna kill Queta.
I mean,
What was
Queta.
that?
we did
Yes.
the first time?
What was that omelet from Archer that had like caviar in it? It was like super disgustingly rich. We'll just make that. You
Eggs
can do the
Woodhouse.
souls.
Eggs
Yes.
Woodhouse.
We'll do that with the souls. It's fine.
I was just planning on, scraping them off and putting them on my network.
They're in his belly.
Queta, come here.
You're gonna throw up. You're gonna tickle his belly.
You're gonna destroy his self-confidence until he has to purge.
You fat piece of shit.
You're an awfully chubby fish, aren't you, Queta?
You're gonna Lucille Bluth this.
I was gonna give you this elephant brooch, but I didn't want to invite the comparison.
H. Christ, Thea. Anyway, the answer is to Queta. Whoever asked.
Okay.
They're like a pantheon, if I recall. Like their own little three-person
A
pantheon.
trinity.
Yeah.
Like witches. Or Toblerones.
What?
So yeah, that's what happened.
That is what happened last session. So has much time passed from that session to this session?
No, because the moon was crashing.
Oh, well, why didn't you mention that in the recap?
Because we weren't done.
Oh, shit.
that happened afterwards.
Yeah, the
Truly.
fucking moon was
It's kind
crashing.
of the cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, fucking strobe light capitalistic faces.
Giant-
Shot a thing at it.
Giant
Empty
elevator
course.
erected right up into the moon.
Yeah.
By the
Of
way,
course.
when we fix this problem, is anyone else in agreement that they have to go?
The moon vampires?
No,
Crawling over the buildings, crawling over the crops.
Because they fucked up one thing. I mean, we fucked up plenty of things. They could have perfect justification for doing it. They probably weren't purposely doing it.
Everyone gets one.
They didn't. They didn't mean to crash into the moon. I think they were just trying to go
Colonize
to
it.
heaven, or to heaven, to
Cosmos.
at Cosmos. There.
To the firmament.
Did something weird happen when they put the elevator up there? Like, something weird happened with it. It could have been that they were sabotaged or something.
The thing exploded, so it probably went as wrong as it could possibly go.
Yeah, it's entirely possible it was an accident.
Mistakes were made.
Someone sabotaged them.
Mm-hmm.
They were attacked while they were setting it up.
As long as we've narrowed it down to the 2.
We could go talk to them and find out.
How about no?
But yes, the epistle has 3 moons in the past. Post, pass, and press. And one of them has cracked.
Which one is it?
Pass. That's the one that cracked.
Okay.
So will we speak with Manticore first, or do we just go and fix the problem?
Yeah, there's a crack in it, it's spinning off its axis, and it being off its axis, and the sun off its axis, which is making the days just loop by at different intervals, which, oh no, that's so new and strange.
I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass for my people, but they can all just wear their suits until...
Power armor.
Yeah, we're staying inside. Well, I suppose the question to ask is, how are we going to fix this?
I'm looking at the engineering team.
The gods
What was
of
that?
creation and artifice.
What should fix this, Mattiel? Say it. Say who should fix this.
Birds.
I am strong, but I'm quite positive I cannot move the moon.
Not even with all your guys?
They are no stronger than a fit human.
Why don't we send your birds up there where they will enter the crack and petrify? Like glue.
I think we should just, we have to deal with it.
Yes.
No one else is going to. So let's just go and put it back where it goes. You know, like a big crane or something? Not a crane like a bird, Lothar.
How many of you
There's
can
a
breathe?
piece of technology that's also called a crane.
How many of you can breathe and survive in the pressure and chaos of space?
I don't need to breathe, and also I don't think there's a lot of pressure out there.
No, it's just a entropy storm that'll rip you apart.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
That kind of pressure is what he meant, like supernatural pressure.
I didn't know that part. None of us, then, I guess?
All right, then I shall
I won't know until you try. How many of you have ever gone to space before?
I mean, I could.
In the past.
That's
but
risky.
I'd rather not.
I mean, does space fall under the dominion of the sky?
I mean, it's as skyy as you can get, but at a certain point it's going to stop becoming sky and start becoming a formless chaos explosion void.
No, but not before the moon.
Probably not before the moon. Who can say? Test it out.
No, because it's like the Earth, and then there's like the atmosphere, I guess. And then the moon's right here, and then there's the ceiling, which is outside of it is entrance into Order Land, Order Heaven.
Yeah, and below it's the Maud Caprak, and all of the black void around it is you can go out there with your brain and like use your thoughts to make land under you and stuff.
Yeah, but don't go out there. But yeah, so between the moon, like there's no chaos there. You have to go out more.
It's
What if
probably
there are
from the
chaos
sky.
waves?
Hmm?
What if there are chaos waves and just like washes over one day?
You shouldn't.
Either way, I feel it is ill-advised to go in there unprepared. I always have the casket armor. It's designed to handle.
I'm going to say, yeah,
hostile
probably from the
environments.
sky, because the moon is low enough that the Unity Tower had to actually have a hole built into it to allow the moon to pass through.
Oh, huh.
That's how tall it is.
That would actually be super useful. You could just control that one. Yeah.
I don't think you can control the moon.
Not control the moon, control the sky around us so we're not being pelted by radiation waves.
And rocks.
And rocks.
Hungry rocks.
And
Not
plus
the bird kind, Lothar.
you could even funnel air up there, actually. So yeah, that's taken care of. Alright. So what are we actually going to do with the moon?
Put it back.
Put it back. It's also cracked, however.
Patch it, I suppose. Make sure these moon rocks don't go everywhere because they sound like they're plague waiting to happen.
We have to move the moon back into its position.
Yeah.
And we have to deal with this crack to the
Yeah.
center. I'm not sure how we can move it, but I know that some of you can conjure large amounts of materials.
I think that's only me.
Well, I can summon a lot of network stuff.
And you can,
once.
you seem to have had the ability to create large amounts of buildings and infrastructure and bridges.
I suppose if I created enough rockets on one side of the moon, it could push it back into orbit.
Oh yeah.
And
Nice.
Acer will be able to help with where exactly the proper orbit is.
No, yes.
3 Acers there, like, oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Oh, that'll work.
That sounds simple
We're
enough.
Astrala Mariners.
So we fly up, you position your rockets on the back side of it, and we push it back into position.
Yes, and once it's there, we fix that crack.
Do we want to put a city on the moon? Is that what the plan was?
Oh no, that was a thought, but for now I believe it's fine as is, simply fixing it. Colonizing the moon would be a power play, though.
Yeah. Also, though, we need to fix that hole.
Perhaps we should leave a message. Please do not break again.
Oh, we're graffitiing the moon already. I see.
Oh wow, yeah, that happens every once in a while. Church of Joliar once carved the Chosen of Joliar once carved the symbol of Joliar into one of the 3 back in the day.
Just smiling down at you at all times.
Yeah,
It's
good.
a nice,
It's good.
it's a nice thing to look up to, a smiling
Not creepy
face.
at all.
But let's just put it back and
Yes.
fix it.
Of course. But some sort of warning we should make an agreement not to.
We should come up with a symbol that is like,
The Pantheon symbol?
yeah, or like we can each individually put our symbol on it, I guess.
How about a 5-agon?
I'm sorry?
A 5-sided gon.
Like a star.
Yeah, but the sides are flat.
A fat star.
Boring, but... What?
Yeah, he knows what I mean by 5-agon.
Okay.
Pentagon?
If you want to be slurry about it.
Why don't we simply put a beacon up there that will alert anyone who gets up there is going to have the technology to detect it. Or the beacon will have the technology to detect them and leave a warning. Or a minefield. A minefield would work. A good minefield.
Not necessarily minefield, but yeah.
I'm not saying of an explosive sort, perhaps an EMP.
Why don't we just leave some birds around it to deter anyone that comes close?
Don't think birds can live up there.
Well, rocks can. The bird type will.
Simply create artificial birds that thrive on the moon.
I would have.
There's real birds that thrive on the moon that we could make.
Oh.
Rocks. Again, big birds. They're big, so they can breathe in the smaller amounts of air on the moon.
The stone bird?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I just have to bang my head against the table. It's Mark, not Lothar. Continue.
Birds.
That's why they're called rocks, because the moon's a big rock. It's barren.
What about the moon vampires?
Oh, those fuck
What
up.
about them? Sorry.
Having a, I could see advantages to having a colony on the moon.
Indeed, do we
Communicate
have
problems?
Do we have the resources to spare to create something that would thrive on the moon? However, oxygen generators for people who could adjust to it very well. I suppose I could just create those.
Yes. Also, oxygen generators are easy because
You mean
trees.
trees? Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's how that works here still, right?
Oh, probably. We'll just put trees in there. It'll turn the moon air into, epistle air.
Plus our mistress of sky for inclement weather, actual rain,
Yeah.
actual weather.
Make a little tiny little place. Oh, but the moon goes outside of the. Does it go into chaos when it goes down? Where does it go?
It goes around. It does its own thing.
Is it gonna they're gonna orbiting, oh now we're in chaos and we're
Into
forever
the sun.
tortured.
Oh no.
Not too sure. Depends on what the orbitals are like. I don't actually have a really good star chart of the moon because, I'm on the top side. The epistle's a plate. There's a bottom side, so I can't really see the bottom sky.
Here's the plan. We'll place a station on there, a protected station, not manned by anything human. it'll go around, it'll gather data, and once we have a full circle, we'll decide what to go do from there.
Yeah, we should put one of those on all the moons.
Oh, yes.
It'd be great to just, be able to...
Monitor it.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's a good power play.
An excellent power play. Additionally, our astronomers, astrologers would benefit.
Yep.
Yes, this sounds excellent.
I can't remember if the moon's air is like arsenic or if it's like helium.
I
haven't been there in a while.
It's funny or terrifying.
Worms were on the moon in the past, or
Yeah, but I don't know if those
snails?
worms were psychic worms or not. I'm not too sure.
I read some of the textbooks on there, but it was just ridiculous. It said the moon was nearly oxygenous and nothing lived there. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
It probably was at one point after it hatches.
Yeah, or one of the many times we, burned and salted the whole thing.
Yeah.
Either way, yes, this sounds like an excellent plan.
It definitely was after they poured all that gold in the Joliar symbol. Nothing lived there while that was cooling.
The Marquis is going to get to work building enough rockets to push the moon into place.
Oh, while you're talking, your phone gets a phone call.
Oh, one moment, I have to take this.
You just go into the water closet in the meeting room.
Yes, he just phases through the walls, because then you get...
There you go.
There's probably a room in the middle that has no doors, and you can just enter it, because city.
It's a call from the Geo front.
The geofront. Refresh my memory?
That giant facility you have.
Oh, yes.
In the Earth.
Excellent. Yes, hello.
Hello, God. It's me on the God phone.
Yes, that is what we call it.
Yep. Just want to let you know that Operation Doomsday is complete and ready to go at your leisure. I've transferred the activation codes to your brooch.
Oh.
Is that Acer?
No, it's just some guy.
Okay, it sounded like Acer.
Speaking
I'm like,
nasally, if he was.
Acer's not like that. Not him. Ian's person from the other game
No,
is like that.
his guy is a weenie. Yes, sir, this is my voice.
It's like his, or
Acer's
not
just kind of
his.
nasally. That's it. Kind of nasally. He's like a Snape. He's the Snape to your Voldemort. Except, a good, loyal,
No,
fashion.
Okay, I was gonna say, Devin, no! Snape betrays him!
He's the Bellatrix Lestrange to your Voldemort.
There we go. That's
he's a rat.
Nasally.
Project Doomsday, eh? I've got a good feeling.
I don't think that was
I
on
know you
speakerphone.
are. No, I know.
Okay.
I shall be bringing the Pantheon on for a tour, so please, before I do so, ensure the place is clean, remove any bodies that may have resulted, make the place look presentable.
Yep, we'll seal off the atrocity section. No problem.
Excellent.
Alright, should I commit suicide now that I've called you so I can't be mind read?
No, it won't matter soon. It won't matter.
Fair enough.
Take care.
He had his cyanide pill in his hand.
Yeah, the
Oh
Marquis,
boy, yummy dad.
Marquis phases back through the wall. I have a surprise for you all later. We'll be visiting later. Once this is taken care of.
Okay. I think the beacons should be of my design, because then it will be on my network, so we won't have to worry about any kind of interference with all the other stuff that exists.
A good plan.
Also a good lead up to fear ants.
That's an unrelated side.
That was just one of the Easter eggs talking, eating spiders.
Saying fucking nonsense.
They're a little strange, Nicole. You keep copying them, and there's like a million of them now.
As an entirely unrelated side note, never allow your most devoted followers to name projects for you. It always sounds so foreboding.
I mean,
Necron 4?
when Acerin named the calendar for the epistle, he named it the Thane calendar.
How shocking.
Yep. That was the original idea I had.
Original character, don't steal.
Yeah, that seems to be even
I'm an original
my
character.
I have a shadow cult.
Speaking of shadow cults, you got a phone call. You have a phone, right?
Yeah, I have a phone.
It's Rufio.
Oh, great.
What?
Thought I had him on mute.
I'm just going to step outside and take this.
Captain?
Yes.
Admiral? Still Captain?
Admirable.
Admirable. Gotcha. So I met with the people you wanted me to meet with. I've been with them for a couple weeks now. It's been a couple weeks since you sent me. Just establishing that Sometimes it gets a little long. Anyway, they seem pretty good. have a fascinating perspective on how the world works. A lot like us before we met the new gods.
Do they seem amenable to meeting up?
It was kind of hard to fit in meeting you because they're in the middle of something pretty big right now. It was actually a really compelling story. They have this whole arc they're currently on with their master, or not their master, their teacher, their spiritual advisor. They're fighting some sort of fascist undead super cult.
Well, how did they respond to talk of the gift?
You mean the and like on camera phone he makes a sword motion?
Yeah.
No, those are one of the fundamental things that helped them like rebel. They're eternally grateful. They think it was the sky that gave it. And when I said that you're the sky, they're like, yeah, it was the sky. The culture's kind of absorbed your name of what the religion is to mean you. Like they think the sky's called Matea.
But I meant our offer of improving the gift.
It was hard to kind of get them to understand the literalness of it. But they are hoping that their deeds will cause the sky to grant them more gifts. They see it as like a spirit of fortune.
Oh, excellent. Well, it sounds like everything's gone well for you.
Yeah, it was a fascinating meeting. They're different. They're different. It's hard to... It kind of reminds me of when we were first starting out.
Yes, we've come a long way since then.
Yeah. Also, you know those blasphemy empires, right? Like the ones we've been fighting, stealing from, hindering, hobbling.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that they're fighting one of those blasphemy empires.
Do you know which one?
Are there any of them that are run by tyrannical fascist undead lords that you know of?
Is that Necro? Nocturnus?
You know of it. You've heard of it.
Necron 4 hits the call.
No. Christ.
Sorry, that was another line.
Yeah, I think I may know of that one.
Okay, they might be coming into conflict with that empire fairly soon. Or at least a part of it. They're marching.
Well, have them, if they need any help, have them let you know.
Do you want me to stay here for an extended amount of time?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Come back when you see fit. But until then, we'll stay in touch and you keep ingratiating yourself amongst them.
Sure. I'll have more information after we'll get some more time here. Good luck, Admirable.
Thank you.
He hangs up.
That is your official title now.
I guess it is.
The Admirable.
Right, I'll come back in.
Everything going well?
So, rockets on the moon.
Indeed.
Yep.
Marquis already got a tablet out. He's just working out his design for these. They're already being made in a manufactory elsewhere.
You can make a lot of rockets pretty fast because you can build big buildings that can make them fast with a gift automatically without effort.
Yep.
So if a few days go by, you can around the city just repurpose an entire part of the city into doing nothing but building booster rockets.
Yep.
Energon booster reactors and stuff.
Perfect.
I mean, we could use our Shutterdown probably for that.
It's busy right now. But he can just spend no effort and just be full NASA automated facility.
Sure.
And then just be and 1,000 people to populate it and run it. So, yeah. You guys are building rockets. How are you guys going to scope out the adjustments you have to make to the moon?
How are we going to get those to the moon?
I assume you're going to fire them at it.
Oh, that would work. Yeah. Remote control.
Or carry them.
Birds.
Birds.
Well, I guess I could always talk with Foss about it. Well, I guess I could go and talk with Foss.
Launch the moon into the sun. These are mathematics. Which of us is smart? Which of us is a rocket scientist?
I wonder, out of the 5 of you, which one is a rocket scientist?
I would int of 10.
I mean, I have an int of 19. If this is what we're doing.
Plus, you can like partition yourself.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, you could just infinitely calculate this from all your body.
Figure it out, Thea. Here's the problem.
Count those beans.
Plus you've got your
The answer is
interface.
bees and mushrooms.
A hive. Rocket hive.
And you want to go talk to Faust?
Yep.
Sure. Who else wants to go talk to Faust? Anyone want to accompany Zazel?
No.
The Marquis leaves the city regardless, though, once he's got the rockets being
Explode
manufactured.
the bats.
Yeah.
What is
If
that?
Lothar doesn't have anything better to do, he's got a couple montages of training he's got to work on with his followers. He felt really bad over having a bunch of them die.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you introduced the new things you've built with the help of Azazel's Lament configuration.
Yep.
Which your cult now has a Eucharist aspect to it, where they have these like ancient sacred blood machines that you put your blood into, and like it does stuff to it, and then they drink the blood and helps unlock their godly potential, and use that for divinity projects to let your people know the true strife of the hunting beast.
And I make it very clear this is considered like a state secret. Like, don't advertise where these powers
I have
come
a question.
from. Yo.
Why is that not cannibalism?
Huh?
Why is that not cannibalism?
It is a specific thing for the religion, and it's given. It's a specific thing of the religion given from the blood from the god. That is different than eating the bodies.
It's not the
of
flesh.
creatures.
So they can just blood drain people like a...
No.
Yeah,
No, it's an abstract blood.
It's an abstract. It's like
It's
the same way that-
symbolism.
Does Catholicism promote cannibalism?
Yes.
Well, they're not literally draining Jesus. And
Yes, they are.
like, No.
According to
Transmogrification.
I'm
their
pretty
own
sure
rules,
Pontius
it's
Pilate
official.
put a keg tap in Jesus' neck and took all that Jesus blood to make himself a 15th level wizard.
I mean, he technically take the wine and transmogrified it into actual, literal blood, and then he drink that. So yes.
Yeah, Jesus'
All
blood is
right,
the
then
properties
yes.
of unicorn blood.
Then yes. Catholicism does promote cannibalism because they also do that to the flesh. So, are you saying that cannibalism is okay? Because that's going to
drinking Lothar's blood will grant you a half-life.
No, and this is like I give like put it in the cup,
Exception.
and then they use it's an exception to the
So yeah, they all have these machines that have a bit of your blood in it, and like they'll add their own blood to it over time and dispense it out to people to ingratiate them into the secrets of the true strife of the hunting beast.
And it's right in there. By the way, this blood, in order to maintain the cannibalism rule, must be given willingly and should not be taken to the death. Yada yada yada.
Complicated thing.
Religions are allowed to have exceptions.
Everyone gets one.
No, they're not. There's a
I mean-
specific rule that makes it a schism in this
I mean,
game.
in Lexicon of the Throne, they even tell you that if you're like higher up, some of the rules don't apply to you, obviously. You're not a peasant, you're a high priest, therefore some rules don't apply. Or you're a noble, some rules don't
Yeah,
apply.
what's that?
There is a very strict that doesn't apply to my religion thing. 'Cause that's bullshit. No, my worshippers all have to be my
What's it
worshippers.
called? An absolvement?
Absolutely.
An absolution. Or...
It's an absolution, or there's another word like an om or something. Like you buy off your sins.
So it's like
an
it's like
indulgence.
also
An
like
indulgence.
It's like there's a rule. It's very very strict in the Bible. No killing, but you are allowed to have soldiers who defend.
Okay, that rule was for the Hebrews, though.
We need to stop using Catholicism as an example.
Well, that's what she tells them. This
Okay,
is
if we-
Judaism, but
If we don't use Catholicism, then we have to use Zeusism, and Zeusism just does not give a fuck.
Yeah, like that's the problem. Like fucking Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Again,
no way.
The Bible has a bunch of fucking contradictions, and the religion has a bunch of contradictions, and we can't use that. It has to be a
Again,
different.
welcome to
thou
religions.
shalt not kill.
It says no cannibalism, right? So for example, this
And then it
is
specifically gives a bunch of parallels and stories about the specific type of thing you're talking about.
yeah. It's
not like you can't not eat clone meat, guys. Understand?
That's just and the big thing is don't get into the habit of killing people and eating sentient beings. It's bad.
How about just drink your own blood? You just put your own blood in the thing and drink it back out.
It's a legacy item. So like God's blood's in it first, but when it gets low, you put the elder puts their blood in, and then the next elder does when it passes down. It's a generational, traditional continuity of identity thing.
It's not cannibalism because Lothar isn't a person. He's not the same as them. He's a god. So
He said sentient.
Eating gods is okay.
Yeah.
We're setting
Gods
that
are
precedent.
One
sentient.
god is okay.
No, the main thing in there is make clear that you're not killing, you're not enslaving.
It
you're
said
not-
eating, gods are not okay, but that's
This
just
is a
one
holy
god.
sacrament.
Deophagism is okay, guys.
So if it's just not to the death,
Well,
it
there's-
just has to be willingly, then can not me, but can someone chop off their arm and everyone eats it because it's not to the death and it's willingly? That's
Theoretically,
cannibalism.
This is why you're the nemesis.
You're poisoning
I'm
our
just-
minds with your devil interpretation of
Brain
our Bible.
spiders.
that sounds extremely painful and counter survival. Although there are certain situations where theoretically one could be in there. It would seem very unlikely though, given that everyone in the cult also can forego eating if they really need to.
Oh yeah, that too. But in Snowpiercer, John Hurt cut off his own arm to feed it to the starving people so they wouldn't kill and eat babies. That was cannibalism, but it was clearly a good thing.
That movie.
Good movie. It's a good movie. This is why you're the nemesis. You're poisoning our secular minds.
Can they just put any blood in there? So people like the blood of a harvested animal?
I think it's going to be the leader, the elder, the one with the most
The people
knowledge.
that actually know the strife, perhaps.
It's being passed down.
Okay.
Like it's a whole thing. It's like a
A ritual.
like actual families and cultures and religions have, where they pass down this ongoing, unbroken line thing.
Yep.
Wait, so is it in the blood? Like actually in the blood?
So blood helps kickstart the process to learn the true strife.
Don't let my vampires feed on you.
I mean, if some of your vampires are his worshippers...
Also, it's not just the blood; it's the whole device too that helps it.
That wouldn't work. They couldn't be his worshippers because of cannibalism.
Eh?
That'd be like
They could
literally.
forsake eating.
Also, the slavery, and they wear white after Labor Day, and all that stuff.
Sure.
So, Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Keep
We're
it
just
moving.
saying that Lothar, in a roundabout way, has said that Deophagia is okay among your pantheon, and we're going to move on from that. Anyway, there's a wonderful ceremony where people are showing up. They're all like, Lothar the Slayer.
Blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
right.
Lothar the Slayer. They all take of your blood and of your body. They do the Eucharist. It's great.
By the way, listeners, Devin
thought.
knows he's saying it wrong. He's doing it on purpose to annoy me.
I'm not doing it on purpose to annoy you. That's just how I've always pronounced it. And I refuse to change. I'm set in my ways.
I mean, annoying you is a bonus.
Besides, in our religion, it's called the Hubertist.
The Eucharist. Eucharia from Grinch Night. Anyway, what the implications of that are is all your worshippers are now 4th level heroic mortals that know the strife of the hunting beast, the true strife of it, and have those gifts, which is a rule in the heroic mortals section and the strife section of the book. If you make them true strife learners, they instantly become heroic mortals of your level. So
Insane.
his entire cult is like that now, and pretty rapidly they're all going to be like martial artists.
100,000 of them. Heroic mortals. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah.
That's calm.
This was my plan all along, really. It wasn't just a really...
And people are like, oh, I want to do that in my Godbound game. It's like, spend half your fucking character points on a true strife. That's step goddamn 1. Step 2, have someone in your party who has engineering that gift that makes it easier to do this.
Because this would be very, very, very expensive otherwise.
This would be like 32 dominion you have to spend.
Yeah.
Instead of a measly 16. For 2 different changes. Anyway, huge celebration. Do you have any gods?
No!
Man, you gotta get guys, man. You're a rock. You're an island.
Yeah.
Who's gonna save you from the Deophages?
Yeah, that's true. Next on the list is I need to make a guy to try and help keep the cult under control.
You need a guy. You need to find a guy. You need to go down an NPC, a list of characters you like, and be like, Reginald Barkley from Star Trek TNG is my guy.
We'll work on that. Do that next.
Seska from Star Trek Voyager.
Neelix. The
No.
breakup character.
Maybe. Kung Fu martial artist Rat-Faced Neelix would actually be a pretty good guy. You want Neelix to be your guy? We ran into
No,
Voyager.
I would just kill my entire cult and start again if he was the Pope. It would just be...
Yeah. Oh, Captain.
Oh, any women I can be abusive to and passive
Do you
aggressive?
have any 4-year-olds I can marry?
Oh my god.
Which Neelix did in Voyager. It's this whole thing. It's this whole thing. Ignore it.
It's a static story.
Anyway, I think that's all the things you're taking care of in town. Who wants to go next?
I'm not doing anything.
That's me.
I guess it's Azazel. Is anyone going with Azazel?
I guess not.
No, I'm going to go and do some research on Nocturnus.
Oh boy, I can give you info and an NPC to talk to. Who are you going to go to research Nocturnus with? Like, who do you want to talk to?
I don't suppose Yan would know anything about them, would he?
Ooh, yeah, that's a bit of a... I'm sorry, that doesn't know.
He's
Yan's a
nature
past person.
He's very local. Necron 4 would.
Let's go talk to Necron 4.
Necron 4 heeds the call.
Pretty much any of my followers know they're vampires and thus welcome there.
Fun fact, the Crimson Marquis originally came from Nocturnus.
Oh,
He used to be on the Council of Entities, the ruling body of the Death Cult.
Council of Entities.
And I guess Necron 4's entire purpose is to help us know about other places.
Alright, we'll circle back to you then after we do the Faustinine. Alright, you head up Infinity Mountain.
Yep.
How do you get there?
Well, probably have some crawling palanquin that just crawls up.
Do they do it fast? This is going to take a couple weeks.
Probably faster, because we don't have that much time.
I mean, you have plenty of time. It's the moon. It's not going anywhere. It took global warming 2,000 years to get to where it is.
Well, either or. A time passes.
Alright,
Who keeps
some
that
time
ahead of time?
passes. Something buzzed.
Buzz, birds.
Good choice.
No, that's for a different character. That's actually a character song. You go up Infinity Mountain. Lothar's worshippers are up here. Like, they're pilgriming up by, like, the hundreds. Like, they're walking. A lot of them are flying because they have bird wings. A group of them are actually carving near the summit into the mountain itself and building, like, a cave-built bird perch dojo.
Nice.
Yeah, there's at least one in there that's like a high priest that's like all emaciated and covered in bandages and is only like sipping a bit of water and waiting for and eating like pine and like, you know, desiccants so he can dry himself out and become a living mummy.
Yeah. Self-mummification. Fun.
Yeah, he's self-mummifying. So his soul can fly free of his body.
All
Yes.
priests of mine should do the honey thing.
Melon Man. Or they should also self-mummify and become like routers.
Ooh.
Like you walk up to them and it's all like... lights light up. Yeah, they all like, oh, it's God, and they'll hang out with you for a bit. Like they'll crowd around you.
Sure, let's have a party.
Is it okay for them to have violent, horrific orgies? Is that in or out of your Bible?
There's no specific rule on there, although anything
Violent, horrific orgy.
non-consensual would probably be frowned upon
No,
because
we
it's
don't.
heroic.
We don't do that here.
Consensualism is what makes it an orgy and not a gangbang.
Yeah, no, we don't do that here. That's fine. Yeah, no, big violent orgy.
Whee.
Alright, after that passes, the summit. The maelstrom that is the summit of Mount Infinity lays out before you. The whole world is down there with all the various goings-ons happening. Dark clouds over some areas, mist and flashing, strobing, violent lights in others. Snow falling. The sky is up there where you can see the cosmos portal. All sorts of things. And yes, at the top, with large stone slabs everywhere with arcane schematics and sort of heavenly designs carved into them, like they're, you know, big stone tablets, is Faust. His man form, naked man with a beard, using his hands just to carve into things, and he's like building. He's building small brass and gold devices.
Hey there, Faust. What you building?
Hello there, Azazel. I am constructing a astrolabe.
What's that?
It's a map to the heavens.
Oh. How does it work?
It shows you. It's like a thing. It tracks the orbitals of like the world and stuff, and he like shows you the insides where it's like folded in hundreds and hundreds of spaces of gears that track the weird physics he put into the plate, so you can track how things move and stuff.
Nice.
I saw an event some time ago in the heavens above, and couldn't help but be inspired on tracking it.
I was thinking about the moon being shot at. That one there.
Oh, that was one of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Because we're wanting to go and fix it, put it back in the orbit where it belongs.
What do you mean by fix? Like he looks up at it and sees the giant hole and cracks spreading it and stuff.
Well,
Interesting.
yeah, it got a little bit dented by one of the future people. Factions.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And you want to put it back the way it was?
Yeah, because it's a little bit off axis and it's throwing the sun over there also a little bit wobbly. So we don't want to break anything here. We want to make it the way it was. Yes.
Do you know the paradox of the sword?
Which one?
You take metal from the earth, you purify it, you heat it, you shape it, you smelt it, you sharpen it, you treat it, you give it a pommel and a hilt, and you put it together and you inscribe it. And then it gets worn down enough and sharpened enough that you pull it all apart, melt the tang and the blade back down with some more metal, put it back together, resharpen it, reinscribe it, and it looks exactly like it was before. But to do that, you had to melt it back down to its base components and add more in and put it back together. Is that the same sword? It's not the ship thing. It's similar, but it's different.
I mean, what's the difference? It's a sword, just
It
like the
is
other sword.
a sword like any sword, but was it the previous sword? Once you pull something apart and the idea of it no longer exists, if you put it back together even using the same parts, is it that again, or is it something similar using similar parts, but the same configuration, the same arrangement of pieces and bits and metals and small micro parts of the ore? Are they in the same alignment as they were?
If you're careful enough, you could make it in the same alignment.
Things are always lost when people build swords, though. Parts are lost, scraped off. You lose something in the process. Energy gets siphoned off. It's the hymn principle. And he says that there's that shockwave that always accompanies the saying hymn with that proper intonation. You always lose a little.
Yep. Well, I guess just like, people of their lifetime, they're not the same thing they used to be. They change. So...
Exactly. The similars, the baselines down there, the mortals, they think that you're the same person your entire life. But when I was putting the designs with Fui, before she made them, it's clear that what you are when you start and what you are at your end is actually a spectrum of things, because it's just the nature of the body. The body changes and shifts and grows, and so does the soul, and so does the mind that the soul is housed in, and the body that both are inside of. So one can actually be hundreds because all the parts shift before it finally extinguishes and goes to entropy.
Yep.
So with that in mind, can you put it back the way it was? He points to the moon up above, now that it's been changed. Would you ever get it back?
Well, it wouldn't be the same moon, but at least it would be in the same orbit, so it would be the same function it used to be. So it fixed the dented sword, so we could call it the sword again, even though it's still changed.
It would be a sword. It could be an orbit, but could you ever get it back to the original orbit before it was disrupted?
I guess not, but it would serve the function. Just like if
But
you
the
have
function
like
it serves now. What it's doing now is has no different moral or logical value than the function it served before. They are simply orbits. There is no change in their values.
Well, maybe not now, but eventually, if things keep happening, then you have a dam, and a crack will form, and a small trickle will go down, but that's still a dam. But eventually, with no cracks, the dam will break, and it will flood, and it won't be the dam anymore after enough small changes. So if you want to fix it,
But if you allow time to continue forward and broaden your scope, those pieces will rot into the earth, new trees will grow, different animals will come by that weren't drowned when the dam broke. They'll tear down those other parts and build a new dam in a different place. And the same value has been kept.
Yeah, but if you believe the future people, if you let them do whatever... Well, maybe put it this way. If we let things happen, there's two options. Either everything will eventually sort itself out, or everything will break eventually.
He gestures up to the top of the sky, because you're so high up.
Yeah.
Beyond the kind of holding to the perfect machine afterlife of Cosmos, up further until you kind of keep looking with your goat eyes until it kind of your perspective inverts inward and you're looking down from the top.
Yeah.
And it's like a giant spiral galaxy. At the bottom is a burning hole in everything that everything interfies into.
Yeah.
But Azazel, that's the function of reality. It all just eventually breaks down and ends. And then your perspective kind of shifts back as he just lifts you up just a bit, mentally. It's how he, world shakes around you, designed it. Things happen in a sequence of events that have no value or assigned worth, and then there's nothing.
Well, that could be changed. See, we're here, and as I said, we want to continue being here. Therefore, we want to extend the nothing to be later and later, until eventually maybe it won't matter. So we want the here and now to continue, we want the dam not to flood. Therefore, we want to keep things up as they are, and fix the cracks as they form, so we can continue being here for longer.
To give you another perspective on the metaphor of the sword, if a sword cracks, do you put more metal in the seam of the crack, or do you reforge the blade into something new? Which one is stronger?
Well, probably reforging it, if it cracks completely.
So your action, to put it back to the way it was, the way you remember it, the way you assume it works, or a potential future action where you create something new. Which one of these is more similar to forging? Which one of these is similar to a weld fix, using an inferior material?
Well, sometimes you don't have enough material or time to reforge the sword, so you have to make do with the smaller changes first. One day you might reforge it when the sword will stop serving its function. So...
maybe. When I created swords and other things, I would have hoped to instill the value that when something like that is damaged, you would do the option. The option that would be followed would be to completely restore it to its strength rather than make do. I've seen it happen. I've watched swords improperly maintained breaking and shattering in a fight, having the user killed, and then the sword is left to rot in the ground and become rocks, and then get fed upon by animals, and then enter the life cycle. Whereas the person who makes something new with the materials they have and uses the time that they have comes out ahead. A little more clever.
Well, you could do that. But, say if you're on a boat and it's leaking, sure, you could break the boat apart to fix it completely, make it stronger. But if you're swimming in that boat, that might not be feasible. You might just want to, again, make do for now until you go to a port and then do that.
You're not sinking, though.
I mean, if you take it apart, you might sink.
But you're not sinking now.
Not yet.
Why not repair it before you start?
Repair before it breaks?
Make something better. Don't take a boat that's going to get you sunk into the ocean. That's a terrible boat. Make a better boat with your own two hands. Why are you trying to copy the boat that's sunk you? Or the dam that's going to spring a leak? Or the sword that kept cracking? Don't use that sword. Use a different sword. Use the materials. Find a better way. Use the laws I gave you and fix it.
We could.
You know what does something over and over again just like the way it was? Animals. Stupid, pointless, growing, breathing, living animals. That's what does the same thing over and over again, because it's instilled in them, and he makes air quotes, instinct. Like how those stupid lake vermin know how to find their home generations later. Don't go to where your home is. Trappers have set up nets to catch you there. Find a new home with your mind. Don't rebuild the sword that broke on you the first time.
Okay.
It's
So
an awful waste of the limited time you have before the end.
So how will you make something stronger than the moon? Make it out of better parts? Make it out of something new? Because that's probably adamantium, right?
It's made of moon. I made it out of what I made it out of.
Transform into a giant goat head.
I mean, I do
Have
have
a
that.
moon.
Alphabet does have the transforming magic. So could make it into something.
Stop wasting your time fixing garbage. That's what I do. I never go back to a project twice. I always do something different. I try again. I try a different angle.
Interesting. Okay. So what else do you want to accomplish here? Other than get confused by Faust?
I don't think anybody else here.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
sure.
like, in general, to the players.
I don't know, man. This was your decision to go here.
Yeah, Lothar knows that repairing the moon is not something that he has the skills or mental capacities to figure out very well.
Well, I think that's it for that conversation.
Yeah. Voss is, I don't know, positive. You showed up to talk to him and didn't ask him for anything.
I guess I also have something else for him.
Are you
So,
about to go ask him for something?
no.
Is it going to happen?
Nah.
Right when that social link was building up.
Nah. So, by the way, we went to a little town there by the water, by the chasm. It's a zoo for future gods that they came back with their colonies. Apparently those three are from Fui. They're her future would-be children, I guess. Maybe they won't happen again. They mentioned something that if they were to die, Fui might get stronger with their essence because they'd go back to their mother.
Yes, like many things here in the epistle, they contain a portion of his womb. Yeah, World Shakes again. Divine spark. As all things do.
As you mentioned that there's a race going on, I guess.
There is a struggle, a conflict between the father and the mother.
Yes, definitely would want that to happen. But we've met a person that claims to be your offspring, Joliar, back there in the north. Couldn't confirm whether he's actually a deity or not. Didn't seem to read as either mortal or divine in a way. So I wouldn't know how to confirm that or deny it.
For deities, you fill your contemplations with such empty things. If people from the future come from a time that doesn't exist, and therefore they don't exist, there is no value to them. There's no difference between their existence and their non-existence, between potential and reality. There's something on the epistle here. Refugee of sorts. And they are not like you. They are not like me. But they are one of the things he created and carries his potential inside of him. Now, if you were to expect this thing, you would clearly see that it is not of the mortal stock. you would clearly see that it is not of the myriad of things that come from outside the realm. And you would see that it's not of you or of me. But you would not be able to deny that it is clearly divine in some nature. But it was made. It had happened and is happening if you find this refugee. That refugee is real. It comes from the now, not from the maybe.
Interesting.
These are the things I concern myself with. This is why I am a god. There is no maybe. There is no potential. There is no have happened. There is only happening.
Well, I wanted to bring that potential up to you in case you wanted to use it somehow.
When my work is done, when my final victory, the end of the great debate is achieved, there will be no need for scrounging the landscape like a vermin animal looking for food to store away in some living tower for the seasons. I am a god. You are a god. You're not scavengers.
Nope.
Victories come from our actions, not from our takings. Taking is what mortals do. We create our own power.
Yeah, but then it goes nods away.
That's what your pantheon is doing. I can feel the ripples. All of you are creating your own power in your own small ways, bootstrapping your divinity. You're not taking it from someone else.
Well, we are taking the materials we need.
Materials don't exist. They are simply the story behind how your power was bootstrapped. There is no value to them. This entire world is a room or a cave. And there's only me, and there's only you inside of it. And we are telling stories to each other about how we made ourselves more powerful. Waiting for the fire to go out, and for him, room shakes, to swallow us. And we are shadows on the wall made by that fire, because he made us. And he is telling a story to himself.
Getting meta there, Devin.
That's the story of him. Him is an entropy god that makes other gods and other realities, and since everything comes from him, if you get really pulled back, it's just him telling his own story.
Yep. I think that's a good wrap for this.
Sure. You leave?
Yeah, I guess I leave. Maybe wiser.
Maybe.
Definitely more confused.
Faust isn't a nihilist like, say, Ein Seven Despair was.
Yeah.
Faust just is a god, like a classic D&D god if D&D gods weren't dumb.
He's
Very
basically
direct.
the joke is you can't see the forest from the trees. He is incapable of seeing the trees from the forest.
There's only a forest because the trees are just irrelevant details.
Yep.
When you draw a tree, you don't... When you draw a picture of like a tree or like a plane, you don't draw all the interior parts before putting a top layer coat of paint on. There's no value on the inside of anything.
That's his perspective.
Yeah, Fui doesn't have an opposite perspective. Fui's all like, fuck you, here comes a tornado.
I mean, this is to see,
Philosophy is for things that think themselves to death.
I mean, there's to meet her eventually.
Well, you want to go to Fui's goddamn island and talk to her? She will destroy you.
Get a few more levels, take an army.
Let's see if Danny will be able to philosophize with her.
Right?
Oh well.
Anyway, you're leaving Infinity Mountain?
Yep.
So, I guess while you're coming back, we cut to Mad Isle?
Sure.
Alright, you head to Necron 4's radioactive nuclear waste dump temple holding cell. You know, have them dredge him up like he ascends to the guide platform.
I'm going to take Yan with me.
Butterflies. Necron 4 heeds the call of the new gods.
I'd like to know about Nocturnus. I'd like to know what they fear.
Doesn't
No.
have that ability.
Yeah, but he knows about Nocturnus.
Oh yeah, he just doesn't know their fear. Like
Oh.
he knows their desires. Basically, he has that desire.
Yeah, but he's also...
Yeah, fair enough. Just
He's the thing that your guys go to. He doesn't just always use his gifts. What do you know of the Dead Empire? What is your context?
I know that they don't like Lothar.
The arrogance of the Dead Men Society knows no bounds in the face of the new gods. Nocturnus is a society of... you can see gears literally turning in the brain and like sparks coming off its nodes. Faux equalitarian societies separated by a social caste of the dead and the living. They talk of freedom, but they are enslaved to their own cycles of industry.
Is this the one that has all the undead doing all of the labor and the people generate entertainment for them?
Yes.
It's like a sandwich.
Slaves. The meat is repurposed for industry to feed and clothe the living, who populate and breed and create more meat for the industry. And then the dead lords at the top rule and expand and take care as the mind of the empire.
How do they fight? Do they use
With
mercenary?
bodies, with meat, with masses, with multitudes. With technology derived from dead energy.
Do you know of any discernible weaknesses?
It's like spinning. Define weakness. What vector of attack would you use?
Well, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Are they susceptible to open conflict, deceit?
They are. It depends on what levers you're pulling. They value entertainment and a bomb to ennui. Their council of entities are independent and flippant. They pursue their own interests. Their dead technology is growing rapidly and powering the masses. They are beginning to head into the next phase of expansion and are quickly running out of... They are to a tipping point where their resources will exceed their consumption.
So they have too many resources.
Too many resources to make too many resources used to make too many resources, which are then exceeding their consumption of these resources. Their dead need certain sustenances to be sated, and their production of those substances is being outpaced by the dead they're producing to produce those substances.
And you said they're led by a council? Can they be fractured, pitted against each other?
As all non-divine groupings, they can, as can all groupings not forged by a pantheon of new divinities. They are weak and prone to infighting and arrogant pursuits of self-interest.
Well, thank you for your help, Necron 4.
Necron 4 heeds the call of the new gods and sinks into his acid pit.
Yana, how would you like to take a trip to Nocturnus?
Anything's better than crawling, sir.
Can you go there and just,
I thought you were gonna go together. You're so go.
Fuck you, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Could you go take a trip, suss out the lay of the land, go as an envoy from our power base, but stay slightly removed. If you need to make a quick exit, be ready to.
I can do that.
Just see what kind of reception you get.
Okay. It will take me some time to get there. I'm not fast.
That's understandable.
Give me a taxi, asshole.
Shoot me out of a cannon!
I've got nothing to offer.
Take the kitten for a ride.
Yeah, it turns into butterflies and starts flying in the direction of Nocturnus, carrying that scythe with a bunch of his butterflies.
Well, hope it doesn't run into a bunch of birds.
Ah, fuck! Why are they so strong? They know martial, they know karate.
Ah, poor Yam, being outclassed by a commoner.
They know Krav Maga.
Krav Macaw.
Macaw.
And macaw is a type of bird.
Yes. Yeah, one of the Council entities has it out for Lothar and wants to beat him in single combat. Lord Soth with his fists.
Punch, punch, punch.
Well, that is that scene. So I'm presuming you guys get together to enact your moon plan.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, you are together to enact your moon plan. What is the moon plan?
We're gonna light up these rockets. Once you have the mathematics.
Yeah, which I assume I do.
Yeah, together. I'm not going to say almost effortlessly, but you have so many resources you can devote to this. You can kind of figure out how to like push it with explosives and stuff to try and push it back into the proper orbit.
Mathiel can manage air pressure and whatnot to like make the perfect route. No resistance.
Yeah. Control the weather to make that happen.
Okay. I guess flying on a ship or on gifts.
Take the, kitten, strap some boosters to it.
Well, the kitten's not here right now, so we've got to fly with gifts.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
that's an easy enough solution.
There you go, gifts.
But will we not be buffeted by the
Entropy.
odd energies you mentioned?
Well, I'll be controlling the weather to keep like a little insulating bubble around us as we go up close. And as long as we don't fly into outer space and stick within the domain of the sky, it should be under my control.
Okay.
Should we take? Would it be inadvisable to take worshippers with us?
What would we take them for?
Good point.
Seems like we would just be
I mean,
needlessly putting them in harm's way.
we will take some broodlings and put them there, see how they survive the trip around. They're
Sounds
they're
very
resilient.
Callous of you.
That's unnecessary.
I thought we were gonna
going
do-
to be collecting data first before we put living things on it.
Oh, I'm not certainly one to judge your parenting styles. Do what you wish.
I mean, the strong will survive, and they're pretty strong, so...
I'll send some static certs.
You're such a shitty parent.
Alright, sounds like the plan's good to enact then.
All right, everyone can fly.
So you're going to fly to the moon, and then, lift a bunch of rockets onto it and try to fire it into proper orbit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys approach, which moon did I say it was? For a shiny Dominion.
Pass.
Was it?
I think
Yeah.
it was past.
Yeah.
Alright, Nicole gets the shiny Dominion, put it on the Dominion thing. One Dominion for remembering things.
Spend it wisely.
Anyway, you approach Pass. Is a large gray and black, satellite celestial body above the plate. How large is it? I don't know. It's moon-sized. What do you want from me? It's a fantasy world.
That's not
Exact measurements, you fuck.
Yeah, you fucking, here's how many square kilometers a basketball it can hold.
It changes.
And it's cracked. Its surface is cracked, not superficially like a hard-boiled eggshell. Like deep fissures are going into it, and there's like stuff oozing out of it. Not in a gross way, in a geological way. Like sea foam is coming out, and the spray of liquid. Different types of gases and airs are coming out of the crevices. Craters on it are blowing open and pushing debris out into it.
That's weird.
There's a large central fissure where the space elevator tried to establish a link, where it blew up, and that's kind of opened up in these deep fissures.
Is there bits of the space elevator anywhere around, or is
Most definitely. There's like parts of the cable and like parts of the support craft that were on the cable just floating around in orbit. Caught in the empty gravulous expanse between the moon and the plate.
grab a couple pieces and fly by.
Yeah, sure. You got a whip now. If they make a peep, you'll whip them in the face.
I'm gonna build an art project.
There you go. You got a fucking braided steel cable.
Are you capable of sensing the history of things that you touch? Like,
Yeah, that's artifacts, I think.
maybe you can get like a vision of what the fuck went on here.
Yep, there's one that does that.
And I'm just picturing Devin and being like, oh god, I didn't think that.
I know what happened here. Cool.
I think that
Like it was serious in my mind, but also in my mind I want to put on the Lost in Space music, like the original intro. Da, 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 da. Dr. Smith, don't open that beer. I'll do whatever I want, William, my boy. I am a grown man and...
William, my boy.
William, my boy.
But you know what would really help this mood?
This is
Some
really.
creatures?
Spiders!
That's the movie with Joey and Friends.
This is
The
really
word-
dating our podcast.
The
Okay,
word-
to be fair, there is a new Netflix Lost in Space series, and it is very fucking good.
It's actually very good. I used to watch the original when I was a kid, though.
Yeah.
And the word Dr. Smith used wasn't spiders, because that was the Joey from Friends movie. It was creatures. William, you have to protect me. Robot, get over here, you mechanical malcontent. Protect me from these horrible creatures.
Danger, danger.
Puts
okay,
the
so,
robot's putting a detonator on his feet because he drank a bunch of exploding alcohol. You are a threat to Will Robinson. What are you doing, you
Die,
metallic
filthy
nincompoop? I will detonate you. It's like, oh. That probably happened, but it didn't happen. Anyway, you can get a sense of the history of shit by touching it with your gift powers.
I can't really
Do you have that gift?
find that. in
Mark
this
it to
game.
make for the day.
That's- Honestly, the purpose of the operation, blah blah. Game reviews on that each person who's helped in its creation.
It's yeah, in his creation, that's the one, because the little flavor text for Artifice, like each of the words has one that kind of explains the use of the power and whatnot. She does that. She grabs a letter and immediately knows like the nature of who wrote it and all that.
Yeah, Maker's Mark or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Do you want to miracle that if you don't have it?
Sure, I'll miracle it. That's
After the day
fine.
gone, for the combat that's going to happen.
Ooh.
Azazel will die first.
I mean, that's always the thing.
It's happened so many times to you.
I'm the scapegoat of the group.
That's right. What do you want to know about this space elevator piece?
Like what they were planning to do with it, I guess, was the whole purpose of this apparatus. What they were trying to reel something in, take
Attach to
something
the
out.
moon, and then send up materials to the moon, and then use the moon as like a base of operations.
No.
What went wrong?
Oh, it blew up.
It was crappily designed.
Mechanical failure. Imperfect materials.
Yeah.
Space is hard.
See, if they go to one of us, it would be way easier.
It seems funny that they would so hastily do this with improper materials.
It happens all the time.
Does it?
Yeah, space is hard. Look at how many American spaceships have blown up or not launched.
I mean,
Yeah, American spaceships. These are
they're all about the money.
people who have existed forever.
They're all about the money, and if you can cut costs, that's money earned.
Always
Not the
remember,
moon.
your equipment was built by the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's fix this shit, I guess.
Alright. So yeah, fissures on the surface.
Uh,
Space elevator debris in orbit.
faultless repair, up to 10 by 10 by 10 cube per level, both object construction can be made look like new each round. That, or I don't know, add some
You're
nature
gonna-
to it too.
You're gonna sit on the moon and faultless repair it.
I don't know. Let's get either that or plant stuff here, like you plant plants on beaches to prevent the erosion of them because it binds the soil. So something like that.
Not a terrible idea.
If I use that fertility gift to make a giant forest here to fill in all the holes.
Fill all the holes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any-
this is
any-
like a Grand Canyon-sized, crevice being cut into the moon's core. So yeah, if you can stop it from splitting apart, you're golden.
I'll take the cape.
Sorry, I'm gonna call Acer on my headphone.
Hello, Mom.
Hello? You said before the moon hatched?
It does that sometimes. Don't worry about it.
What's inside of it?
One time a giant vampiric, I want to call it a face spider, but moon-sized.
Okay.
Yeah, we killed it. It was larval. Don't worry, we put it down. Well, we did. We had. Happened. One time it was full of an angry empire of slugs that could control you with their mind. And one time it just hatched into just a living black hole. A living hole of destruction. Light could not escape. And I wasn't there for that, but they shot it to death.
Okay. Just wondering if it woke something up.
If it's not born yet, you'd simply use your gifts of
Fertility
and whatnot to preemptively abort it.
Now watch out for the meteor heads, no matter what you do.
Lothar will try and string up some of the cables around.
What's this
Now that he's got flight to and try and put them, because these got to be made to withstand some pretty absurd stress.
Oh yeah.
So perhaps I should.
United.
Well, we could at the very least join them, and I could provide some as you guys continue to deal with the cracks.
Well, like get a giant spear, try to stitch the crack back together.
Suture it. Do it.
But if you can strengthen the areas directly around where the material is, then I can give it a shot.
No, I've committed my effort of the day to make the forest and such.
I'm just picturing. It's like, okay, different plan. Azazel's just puking scrap metal into it to
BoJack Horseman cotton candy.
fucking fill it with trash.
Plug the wound with garbage.
I mean, I can just dump some of my hoard here.
We
but-
just built a
The
giant.
breathings will breed themselves into the hole, and then it'll seal itself.
We built like a portal going directly from like the dump to like the right to the moon's great concavity.
100 million tons of William Shatner's spoken word rap albums.
E.T. game.
I didn't want to go for the obvious one.
So yeah, we're starting to fill it up with nature and cables.
Okay, so you're filling it up with
repairing.
things that will pull it together,
Yep.
not stuff that will break it and divide it apart like a giant shunt with a hammer.
Yes.
I've got all this cola. I've got all these pop rocks.
Alright, well, you're going to get close to it and attempt that shit, because you got to get close, right? Do you have to touch, line of sight? How does this go?
I mean, I give you to think within miles and miles and miles is the nature, but
yeah,
sure,
but you can do it within sight, right?
probably.
As long as it says within sight, I don't care.
They only designate within 10 miles.
So you have to get within 10 miles.
Yeah.
Or closer, so it's 10 miles on the surface. Does it cost you effort?
For the day. Come with it.
Okay, how big is the Grand Canyon, just to ballpark it? I'm going to type into Google, how many miles is the Grand Canyon? Canyon Pepper.
You're going to be here for all of eternity.
277 miles long. So you just got to do this 27 times.
I guess I'll spend some time here.
Like, it's 18 miles wide, so you got that.
Yeah.
You only have to do that 54 times, basically.
Okay.
Alright.
I guess the Marquis on the other side of the moon, just launching those rockets into it, chucking them in so that they embed.
Yeah, there's stuff living here that's going to fight you guys.
Cool.
I was setting it up for that. Your plan is to use 54 effort, spend a couple days,
Yeah.
and just plug up the Grand Canyon with, trees.
Yeah.
And then Thea can hang out here and corrupt it with meat moss.
I mean,
I'll
not
throw in-
meat moss.
I'll
Yeah.
throw in space junk and try and do what I can. Oh look, a spare mountain. Pick that up, dump it in.
Yeah. So, there's weird things coming out of the crack. Kind of flying out of it. What Ace and Thea called meteor heads, or meteoroids, or meteorites. There's weird living creatures pouring out of it. They're all different shapes. Like, one of them is like a giant tree with a bunch of like hands on it, and the hands have eyes in the palms, and they're all scintillating like with prismatic rainbow colors. There's just a large severed head with a neck stump and a giant mouth with multiple tongues in it, and it has a giant eye in the middle and like hair with eyes on the end. And just a lot of things that are severed heads with eyes that are like glowing rainbow colors and giving off strobe light effects everywhere, like from all of their eyes.
Uh-oh, rainbow's bad.
If I were to throw you a D&D monster this is most closely related to, it would be Beholderkin. So yeah, those are just pouring out of it.
Okay.
Some of them are like, they're not flying by anything. Like, one's like a severed neck stump and it just has eyes on its head stalk and a giant eye in the middle and giant gnashing teeth. And it's just floating up from the moon, and then it's just floating towards the abyssal, just under its own power. While, like, there's lasers coming out of its eyes, and its main giant eyes giving off strobe lights of rainbow colors.
So that's some sort of rainbow beholder?
Just a normal beholder. They have giant eyes that shoot lasers. It's just a beholder. Anyway, it's just floating under its own power
Wait,
to
Are
Earth.
we
Lothar.
killing this?
Are we killing
Like,
this?
eat it into the sun or something.
I mean, punch it.
Yeah, you might want to yoke that.
No, that's the past tense, Devin.
Well, make sure it gets yoked to the sun.
All right, Lothar will fly up there and turn it into.
Punch it into meat, and then Zil can eat it, and it'll be all fine.
Cool. I have a song for this because now you're engaging the
Intergalactic
meteorites,
battle.
the meteorheads.
Eye of the tiger.
Maybe. Let me pause.
Maybe.
There we go. I turned it down a bit just so it wouldn't overpower the scene. All right, Lothar, you're fast. We know you're fast. A giant severed head with eyes coming out of its head and a giant cyclops eye in the middle with flashing strobe light eyes that are firing lasers is flying towards the epistle.
Yeah, no. Lothar's gonna fly towards the thing and start beating the hell out of it.
All right, attack it. It has AC 8 because it's in space. It's not
Okay.
gonna do
Can I
very well.
have a general? I don't know if I've gotten like this of how the general idea of how strong this thing is, or
Yeah, sure. This thing has. I'm not putting the sheet. There's like 8 different stat blocks. So fuck you.
Yeah.
It's fine, Peter.
Move along.
Yeah, it has. Thanks, D&D. 45 to 75 hit points. That helps. You piece of shit. Divided by 8.5. 5 hit dice.
Okay, yes, I'm not going to be using the essence for a day. That's kind of crazy, but I will use my commit for scene to get an extra action.
Sure.
Hit. Yes, sorry.
Play note, get into melee range of it does 1 danger zone damage to you.
Oh, cool. I take
What's
a
the danger zone?
Magic rays of like rainbow energy, like rainbow damage.
It's super dead.
8.
8.
All right, you take a damage gain into the danger zone. As the central eye looks at you and starts shooting you, and there's your black outline in the rainbow, and then you just karate chop it in half.
I'm gonna repeatedly punch it a bunch of times, grab it by the stalks, and hurl it into the chasm.
All right, you punch it to death as it's made of meat, and just huck it back where it came from. Hopefully, its body doesn't fall off.
So its children consume it and are like, okay, now we're adapted to that. We're immune to punches.
They're not Doomsday, or anyway.
Ultimate baby.
They've been doing this since the moon cracked, so there's like more also leaving orbit. Like they're not close to the abyssal. The abyssal is pretty far away when you only move it like 10 feet around. So there's like a whole like cloud of them between here and the abyssal.
Okay, this is that's a
You
little.
can kill them pretty good, but you fly faster than they move.
They're not really grouped up. So should I just go kill those things, or
Zones
How-
of danger.
How big of a cluster are they?
It's probably a vast
Many.
mob spread out in the distance between here and the abyssal.
I'm sorry, I don't have that many
Over how
fingers.
It's not a mob.
How much of an area?
What?
He just said it's a mob.
It's a vast mob.
Is it an actual mob, though?
I mean, there's probably several vast mobs, like
Yeah.
clusters of them.
Go,
So
go, nom.
yeah, if you want to go and like genocide them, I mean,
They're out. I think their 5 hit dice puts them outside of the genocide range.
it does.
Oh,
I mean, the moon's full of them, so
I
you know.
can't one-punch them because they're more than half of my level.
You can fire breath.
But I
or-
can fire breath them, and that has a limited range, though, like 27 feet.
Oh yeah, no, this is a.
Yeah.
hurl right into the center so we take out a big chunk of them.
But if only someone here had a bow, I could just plug them off from a distance.
I'm gonna be here a while, guys. If only you guys picked up that Power Ranger.
Who? What?
The one Power Ranger that has that bow gift where you just can sit there shooting.
Well, I'm sure he'll be back.
I mean, the other option
Shapes,
is I
shapes.
don't know if we get a signal out here, but I could also call my cult to try and take them as they hit the atmosphere.
Yeah, you just call your cult. They'll fly up here.
They can stay down. I mean, as long as they stay on the atmosphere, they're not going to die. That's.
Well, I mean, he made it calm over here. Mattel made it calm here, so you guys can live here. That's how you're breathing.
Just take a vast amount of your cultists and show the beholders who's stronger.
That sounds like a suitable thing.
Nice. You just like a symbol, a
Bird,
lighthouse.
bird,
A
bird.
lighthouse in the main city like comes out of the ground and like unfolds like a transformer and points to where you are, and your cult starts following like moths.
Okay.
Punching the sky.
Yeah, it takes a little while, but they're much faster than the beholders. But eventually, yeah, a vast mob of hundreds of Lothars, flying, divinely supernatural martial artists show up, and they start enacting
A lot of violence.
constructed martial arts cleansing of these moonspawn.
Each of them has more hit points than each of the beholders.
Yeah, and they also have bitter gifts.
Yep.
Okay, that's happening. That'll clean up the cloud that's trying to get to the epistle. Hungry for more eyes.
Excellent.
Plus, we can sell the rights to the video to a bunch of different factions.
Your Hawkmen start kicking the Jim Christ out of flying heads. There's still flying heads on the surface of the moon. Also, several bigger ones.
But I wonder if there's some kind of head boss.
They're not going to stop, most likely, until we seal the crack. This is a big moon. That's a lot of effort to put into killing these things.
It'll take a few days.
Also, you get too close and you start taking damage.
A half ton isn't a whole lot.
Why?
Like in comparison to the Grand Canyon.
No, the Grand Canyon is much bigger than a half ton.
Well, I know it was much bigger. I just didn't know how much bigger.
A lot. You could fit like cities in the Grand
It's like
Canyon.
it's a mile across, and
It's like
absurdly
17 miles across.
long. Oh, never mind.
If
And
we
220 miles long.
if we bolt some like cords onto either side of the vessel and have Lothar, who has Mike, start pulling them together.
What, like
that's-
helicopter arm curl the canyon together?
Yeah.
Low
It's
far.
beyond the
That-
scope. It's a Dominion change. It's beyond the scope of the actual anything close to a micro.
Who wants to toss in one Dominion at it?
I mean, there's miracles where you can do
Yeah, there's
incredible feats of
miracles.
strength.
Like, if you guys all work together and spend time on it and make it safe, you can just spend time doing it with influence.
Yeah, stronger than you. That's that gift.
You literally just commit influence to it and like spend a lot of time here. But you got to clear out the leader or death heads if you want to do this by manually doing it.
Let's fight it.
Let's clear them out then.
All right. So yeah, there are 3 leaders that have managed to disgorge themselves from the interior of the moon and float to the surface. How big are these fucking things? All right, so they're like the size of what's the word I'm looking for? You know the plane that carries a lot of people that we all ride in? Yeah, they're all the size of a 747, but like as all good engineers will say, they are perfectly spherical. They don't have stalks. Instead, they have just giant, like split down the mouth palate mouths that like go into like 2 different directions, and one big eye that has multiple irises that are all like again strobe lighting and firing off single artillery lasers.
Stop saying strobe lights.
They, whenever their mouths open to roar from like inside where their teeth are, like some of the teeth will pop out and then become smaller little heads.
I really hope your like birdmen are immune to like seizures. They have seizure medication with them.
Several of them watched Electric Soldier Porygon and are in the hospital. So yes, you have to kill these 3 hive mothers.
Okay.
Start punching.
What do you want to do? There they are. They have zones of danger around them from the large amounts of blowback from their artillery lasers.
How many hit points do they have?
They each have 20 hit die.
Smite all of you.
Yeah, that's
Like-
close.
5% smite, 3 times over. Should do it.
Is this a new scene or the same?
Sure, it could be a new scene. You got this last scene was Lothar and his army of martial art gods.
They're still probably fighting.
Kung Fu fighting their way through the celestial asteroid belt of Death Head rainbow monsters.
Yeah, this
That
is
was a
totally-
previous scene in the DVD. This is a new one.
Extended cut.
The laser show on the moon.
Yeah, like these things will like they'll position themselves slowly and be like roaring and stuff, and then they'll just go backwards a bit as they fire a pure rainbow prism beam out at something.
All right, the Marquis is going to smite one of them.
With a what smite?
Engineering smite. He repositions some of those rockets that he's been working on, and they all start launching towards it.
All right, missile barrage. Do your thing to one of them.
For the thing. The 8.
4, 8, 2,
I'll just keep this.
2.
So 5 damage.
Not the best, but whatever.
Are you gonna? Here, I'll just punch 3 boulders in.
No, and I guess
What?
fray
Which one?
damage to any of the smaller ones that are around. No, wait, they're like
They're being punched by the
Yeah.
cult, so.
Yeah, and then there are little ones around. You just be like fray damage and like eviscerate some of the smaller guys.
Lothar will of course fly up to one, do his go first. Yeah, this time he's hacking off individual stalks and then
Roll your
breaking
attack.
the major eyeballs. So I'll
So
use
commit scene and day.
commit one scene, commit one day.
The artillery ones do 5 zone of danger damage.
Ow.
Yeah, just getting that close, you'll get hit by reality shredding mutagenic rainbow damage.
ranged
I
attacks,
will
dude.
chill them very quickly then,
Yeah.
and then move on to ranged attacks.
Free from the body. Free from the body. Free from the body.
Oh, sorry.
Roll. What's the AC?
8. They're slow and gangly. When their skin is not hardened because they haven't been exposed to an atmosphere to turn into armor yet. If they get to the epistle, they'll be able to, like, you know, get all scarred up and get armor plates growing.
Nope.
They're all vaguely newly hatched.
12 damage?
More.
Yeah.
6.
Lothar has many, many, many attacks.
So 2, 2, and 4, 4, 4.
8, 12.
So
Okay.
18.
Down to 3. 18? So, okay, so nothing. One's dead.
Alright. You run into one and just tear it apart. Is that what you do?
Individual stalks off, and then
No shots in the big ones.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, just going right for the eye because that's the kind of where a bird would attack.
Punching constantly, clawing.
Clawing, 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 and then yeah.
Eventually, you start cracking through the lens, and all the energy inside builds up, and it swells up like a balloon and detonates.
Ow.
Yeah. I took that 5 damage.
So I'm going to do a fertility smite on them to give them eye cancer.
Oh god, eye cancer.
Boom. 2, 3, 4,
You're gonna get a turn soon.
5 damage.
That's what the swarm.
Are they? Are they really?
You guys can't kill all of them in one turn.
How much damage?
5.
Okay.
Your smite did 5 damage?
Yeah.
You rolled 5 ones?
That's
Or no, you roll through the thing. Okay.
4 damage through the thing.
Smites would be insane if they burrow straight.
There's only one gift really that does that, and it's amazing. It's in Might. And Lich King. Huh?
Lucen's got Steve.
What do you have to do?
I am also going to smite them. One of them. I think I'm just gonna use a health smite. Oh, is this the wrong die?
Also
it is.
cancer.
It is.
4d8s.
Give them astigmatism.
Cataracts.
Pardon? Health smite?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wanting to like overheal until they burst.
Go for
So
it.
that's what I used to.
The big K cancers.
Special call.
The specialist of Ks.
2,
Not Benig.
4, 5, 6 damage.
That's down to 9. Matiel, can you do 9 damage? Just kidding.
No.
It's mobs.
I'm going to summon the Fury of the Heavens and
Oh shit.
reach out and shoot a lightning bolt at the damaged one for 4 damage.
That's amazing.
Hardiness save for half.
Oh, it'll roll. Hardness. Power. Unlimited power as lightning heavens tearing through. Yep. Saves for half.
So 2 damage.
Down to 7.
Alright.
That's right.
That's right. Alright. Is it the monster's turns?
Yes.
All right, the overlords turn to where you guys are. Are you all clustered together in one group?
I
Well,
assume not.
I'm right
I
up
mean,
with them, with one of them.
We're punching one of them, so...
The Marquis far away because ranged
Same.
fighter.
Who did the most damage? Was it Matael and Zazel?
Where is Lothar? He basically killed one.
Okay, well in that case they will both try to kill Lothar now that Peter has suggested it.
Aha!
Sounds good.
They both turn from where they are to where you are and charge up and fire their kins. They're gonna both smite you.
Okay. I can't do much about being smoted.
Marquis can.
You could... Depends on what they do, because you could defensively dispel, because attacking you.
Is it a bird attack?
It's not a bird attack.
Is it a might attack?
They're not using their muscles.
Is it an alacrity attack?
No.
Damn.
It's just not as fast.
I mean, the speed of light.
Yeah. Lothar,
Racist.
your phone rings.
Dodge.
Your phone rings
Okay.
while these attacks.
A little busy, but yes.
The phone starts glowing, and sunlight.
You're gonna pretty brilliant law one of them?
One of both. It's an instant.
What? You can only target one gift that's happening.
Yes, one uses gift, creative brilliant law. Then the other's turn uses a gift, creative brilliant law.
What?
That's on the enemy's turn, though. I can't do that.
It's an
I don't
instant.
think that's how it works.
It's an instant. That's why creative brilliant law is amazing.
Oh, you're saying he spent 2 of his effort.
Oh yeah. I'll do that. Sure. So the Marquis absorb. Oh, do you want me to, or do you think you can take one of them?
Yeah, I could probably take one of them. I can't imagine them doing.
Which level are they? Are they 10th level?
Yes.
Are you...
It's gonna be 10d8.
10d8 would suck.
Okay,
I
so
think
the
it's gonna
phone
kill
flashes and absorbs both those attacks.
Yeah. There we go. So yeah. No, it's instant. So you lose 2 effort for the scene.
Okay.
Okay.
Now for the next
I'm
attacks.
going to I'm going to assume they have other attacks. They can't smite. They just did. So
Double
lasers. They start shooting you with. Oh no, they don't have stocks. And they're pretty far away, so they can't bite you. They're just gonna summon more beholders then. They both open their mouths and start vomiting out heads, and vomit out 2 large mobs of beholder heads.
Okay.
They're now covered by a mob.
Just all over you.
They're not over him. He's over there. They can't get close. That's why they didn't try to melee him. So yeah, they just spew out a vast mob of meat shield around them.
Cool. How many hit dice does each little beholder have?
Like 10.
10?
2
The
vast
mob has
mobs,
10,
HD. 2 vast mobs, each one has HD 10.
Yeah.
Not
They're garbage.
Yeah.
2 vast mobs of HD 10 creatures is strikes me as being.
Like the mob has 10 hit points.
Oh, never mind. No. I thought you said a mob of 10 hit die beholders.
No.
That would be.
These are rats.
Yeah. Our
They might
smites
have
hurt them.
4 or 5 more. I don't care. But there you
Our-
go.
Not our smites. Our fray hurts them, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, you stole their turn, so it's your guys' turn.
Well, I guess Azazel going to punch one of those mobs and make it explode.
Dead?
Dead.
Dead. Entire mob dead. You flinched its young off its skin, so it can't use those meat shields.
Yep.
Yes, let's hurry this up. I do believe I made myself a target. Marquis going to pull out his gun and just shoot at one of them.
Alright.
Whichever one is the most... Oh,
there
there
it
it goes.
Gone forever.
Gone forever. Is there another D20 around? Literally, I think it rolled under the table. Oh. What's their AC?
8.
Okay, that's a definite hit. That's D10. Oh, wow. It's a 6
Plus your modifier.
plus my modifier, so that is
Close
8. 2 damage.
Alright. Who's up next?
Since they're all bunched together in a swarm with the 2 remaining hive mother beholders attacking Lothar and they
Yeah.
swarm around them, I'm going to charge up a full rain of lightning.
Oh boy. That's just straight damage to mobs.
This one doesn't.
Yeah, Rain of Lightning does.
Anything area.
Rain of
that's
Lightning hits
straight damage
everything in its range. It just hits everything. It's straight damage to mobs. That's just
Okay.
a rule.
So
there's
every
1d6
desired target with 100 feet. So I'll damage the mobs, the beholders, and not Lothar.
Sure. So the mobs will take the holders take normal damage, and the mobs take that 1d6 straight.
Is this a smite? And then what's the previous thing?
It's
a
just
smite?
Rain of Lightning.
Rain of Lightning's not a smite.
Oh.
Rain of Lightning is like one of the best gifts ever. I would want to take it all the time.
It's a really good sky gift. Oh, brutal.
The mobs take 1. Pichu from the one you rolled.
Yeah.
The beholders take nothing as their coruscanting rainbow shield protects them.
Also, Frey, so
yeah.
damage them further.
And I
Walter
train him as
Frey
well.
Oh, yeah, you can also Frey.
1 damage.
1 again.
Another 1. Theia.
Oh, right, my smite. Or my Frey as well.
Bee swarm.
Roll ahead.
Let me just see that.
2.
Okay, so it's a 4.
The most vulnerable.
Yeah, the one with only 5 hit points left.
Do it.
Go for it.
Murder.
Danger zone.
Danger zone.
I rolled a 20.
Nice.
Well, plus my stuff.
Damage.
Yeah.
D10 plus 4 or something.
1d10. It's plus 2, not 4.
Did you use it into something? 6. So 2 damage.
Yes.
Down to 3.
Alright.
And also Frey as well.
Is anyone
Right.
left?
Yeah.
D8.
Freya's
We've got
1d8.
1d8.
Also 1 damage to the mob.
Okay.
Alright. What's next?
Lothar is going to see how many hit points. What am I left at?
You're at 20 something.
Okay, that's fine. I will quickly head over to another one of these things, and
Okay.
I will Hungry Jaws of Death, and I will beat the hell out of it.
The weakest one or the healthiest?
We're going to go after the healthiest.
Go for it.
Commit scene day.
Commit day, and then commit day again. Because I'm going to use the Miracle Up and extra action.
Alright.
What's EC again?
8.
8. That will still hit. It hits.
They're simple as hell to smack.
It hit. It rolls. 10, 2, 6. That's 2. 5, so 11. And that's another 6, 17.
So both down to 3 hit points.
Oh boy, they get a turn.
Is that it? Get done.
Did
Make
you get
that.
Frey as well, or?
Oh yeah, use
I
a
can
fray. Maybe you'll. Now you will kill him up, but.
That's one of the like sorcery is kind of like magic wise, but it's gift where you can do
It's
Frey
5,
damage to
2.
greater foes. Is
One.
nice. It's a worthy foe.
1 point to the 1 point to the mob.
Alright. So you're in melee range with one of the beholders.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna bite you.
I will use another day effort, and I will miracle up natural hit on 20 of them.
Okay.
It's
Nope.
just
Nope. And then the other one. Oh. Nope. Nope. You've emasculated them. They can't hurt you.
let's just use all our effort for this, and then the entire moon hatches.
So the rift of the moon gets teeth and starts going like nom nom nom.
Fucking moon presence from a Bloodborne.
No, it just opens up with just a giant iris.
Yeah.
Lasers.
Remove its contact lens. Contact lens.
Remove the context lens.
Yes.
Let's talk about tech war.
Please.
Let's give it pink eye.
Oh god.
Ugh. Too far. Alright, can you guys probably do 3 damage to these 2 guys between the 5 of you wizards?
Yeah, I think so.
Then they die. You kill the overlords. You can send endless amounts of hawkmen to kill their young and wipe out their presence on this moon.
We'll seal them inside the moon so they can fight this war for eternity.
Yeah, Day of the Dumpster style. We'll seal them on the moon. Alright. In that case...
Taste the rainbow.
I just want to mention, ironically, the Godbound game I ran on the weekend, they fought beholders.
Fun.
It keeps repeating.
This is pretty.
It's just, relaxed wave music. Alright. So, you guys are going to spend some time fixing the moon?
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
cover them with nature and junk.
Also going to spread network
yes.
and do it to the other moons as well. Unless the other moons also have combat. If they do, then like I'm gonna run.
Let's just start with one.
We don't want to fight it.
We should make the plant life like flowery and whatnot, so there's like a pretty streak across the moon. Like those bowls at the.
That's what I was thinking of when I was thinking about you guys fixing the moon.
Yeah.
So you're like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, like when like that practice that like I think it's the Japanese do where a black bowl breaks and they use gold to fix the seams.
Yeah.
Also, most of my stuff is like phosphorescent.
So that'd be super pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that's our signing it. It's like yeah, look at what we did.
All right. Well, how much effort do you have a day, Azazel?
I have max effort of 5. So
So it's gonna take you like 15 days.
Could I assist in some way to like half that?
Is that gift you're using a lesser gift or a
okay,
greater?
right, that's a greater gift.
I can create like constructs and stuff. So could I create something that gathers up moon dust and turns it into cement and start pouring that in?
I mean, you could spend a couple days and build an entire giant moon-sized Sumega City superstructure devoted to fixing the moon.
And I could just make constructs on it. So yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll help you that way.
So there's a lunar base along the seam that's like built over it, like the Chernobyl coffin. And inside there's nothing but hooks and like machinery designed to like stitch it back together while like you're putting plant stuff in.
Sarcophagus.
Yeah, the people are like strange.
Sarcophagus for the vampire on the moon. That wizard came from the moon.
Yeah, the people are all strange and like kind of ghost-like, and they just tend to the plants and work on
Albinos in
this.
spacesuits.
Yeah, they'll just be here forever tending the plants.
Yeah, and they'll have guns and stuff to like shoot at things that come out of the crack.
Nice.
It's entirely functionless aside from that, but it's pretty.
So there's a giant, visible from the epistle, like stark white NASA plated, like NASA style design plated, thing over the Grand Canyon for like keeping it contained.
Tending the flowers.
Secure, contain, protect.
Yes.
And then you guys are gonna put rocket boosters on it and fly it back into whatever you think the orbit should be.
Yep.
Yeah, you attach rocket boosters to it and put it back in its orbit, and hopefully that nails it to where it should go. It's gonna take a while before that stabilizes, though. It's all wobbly.
That's fine. After the rockets have like moved it kind of into place, I'm gonna spread them out to around the moon. So if it starts fucking up, I can adjust it based on like. Yeah.
Rockets that like shoot harpoons into the moon and kind of like pull it around.
Yeah. So if it's like totally broken from the orbit, I can constantly adjust it.
Sure. You guys work together. You probably commit influence to like getting this all done while stuff's happening.
Yes.
And you're able to clear that out.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Problem solved.
This is gonna take time. It's probably gonna take a couple weeks.
Are we going to put the symbol on the plating with the each of our different symbols in a big?
I don't think we need to because it's clear we did this.
Yeah. Okay.
People will know.
Yeah.
I think we've also got some time while they're doing this. Maybe we'll go out. And
You
just do that
guys
anyways.
can just go and start digging on the.
Yeah.
You find someone on the moon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy here.
Hey there. Hello.
If there are two guys on the moon and one killed the other with a rock, how wouldn't that be fucked up? He just asks.
There is a house that looks geodesic, like with all the little, like, made from shapes. Not normal house shapes, but like repeating shapes.
Fractal? You mean like?
No, like they use pentagons or hexagons or whatever. Geodesic.
Geodesic tone.
Yeah. It's made of like stone and plate glass and has like a withered garden out front and like that chest where like people will leave stuff for like monks or whatever. But it looks like it hasn't been used in a while. It's covered in moon dust. It looks like this place can hold like 15, 20 people or one person lavishly. There's a big door with a door knocker on it. And the symbol of a skull with two horns coming out, and one horn has been like snapped off.
Is that a symbol I recognize?
No, never seen it before.
Knock on the door.
How long do you wait after knocking?
I've got time.
About 20 minutes later, you hear someone like unlocking a lock and kind of opening it. It's a man who is pale, like that. I don't get a lot of sunlight. Deep black eyes, like completely just Vanta black covered over. Long, gangly, like bony limbs that just kind of have wide joints to them, and very tall, but it looks like they're hunched over. Look like they're like 6-7 feet tall when they're fully stretched out. Kind of emaciated, wearing blue and red robes, like bishop robes almost, with like those long kind of single rectangular strips of cloth over top of it with various symbols on it. He has a small iron crown on his head, and he has 2 horns. One of them is snapped off, the other one has been filigreed with gold. The snapped off one has been capped with a platinum cap. Oh, right, he has his own soundtrack. I forgot about that.
Intergalactic Blink.
No!
Oh,
But soon.
Oh, Alpha Mind.
Hello?
It's good to meet you. We weren't expecting to bump into anyone up here.
Oh, sorry, I forgot there's one detail I keep forgetting that's important about him. In between the horns, there is a glowing symbol, like a supernatural mark that kind of just hovers like a hologram in between his horns. 2 closed brackets and a circle, which you do recognize. That's universally the symbol for, in language or old language, for reality or the entirety of existence. Classically, from your education, the symbol of him. Beginning, existence, end. No. Most don't come here.
Well, we're just in the neighborhood for the next week or so we thought we'd say hi.
Come in.
Thank you. Guess we'll go inside.
Yeah, he lets you in. It's this place holds like 15, 20 people, but it's big. It has multiple layers to it. It looks like the interior is more like a library mixed with a tea house, mixed with a gambling den, mixed with just a single person's relaxing area. There's like little gardening stuff, tools, woodworking. It looks like just, a guy lives here, like it's a cabin in the woods on the moon. There's music playing in the background on like old analog machinery.
Are you from the old world?
Oh, yes, very, very old.
Well, I am Lothar, the Slayer.
I'm sorry, I don't recognize that name.
You've been here for some time. One of the new...
Very long time since it got put up.
I'm one of the new gods down from Epistle.
Oh, are you both gods?
Yes.
It's been so long. So you've met. He makes the kind of big hand motion that shakes the room a bit. You've seen.
Seen what?
He makes the motion for him, but he doesn't say the words.
Oh.
You've met.
No, I can't say that's...
No.
I have.
Oh, that's... Sorry, it's been so long. I was hoping to hear about him.
Does he know that he's dead? Someone's got to break the news.
Do we?
I mean, you can let me hear happily. You don't have to, ruin him.
I thought that was what we do.
We don't care enough about this.
What brings you so far out here?
I like to stay out of way of the lands of the mortals. It's hard to be around them. Hurtful.
Why is that?
They wither. It's difficult to get used to. Not since my last home.
I suppose that makes sense. Sort of growing up as a mortal, or so I thought. It wouldn't bug me as much, I suppose. Perhaps after a few millennia it will.
Oh, it's hard, and they're very fickle. They have things they like to do. But you're here. How do you find the whole? He makes like big arm gestures and he doesn't know the words. The state divine. How are you enjoying that?
It's difficult.
Is it?
It solves many problems and leads me to new ones I did not anticipate.
Well, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that perspective. I had spoken to the mother father on the world proper, they seemed flint-hearted and consumed with their own perceptions.
Yes, it seems to. I don't quite understand the perspectives of some of the other gods. Well, I've only met really the one of the original old gods, and of course the other members of our pantheon.
There are more of you, not just the two?
Yeah, a bunch of them are just out fixing the crack.
But you two look so similar. And there's a male and a female, and you both look like you come from the same origins.
A bird person, a goat person?
They both look like hybrids,
Oh, okay, fair.
which have very similar traits to something that notices.
One is like us from this world, and then the other are from the previous.
Previous? Well, there are no gods from any previous world.
The future world? Perhaps there is a failure of language. I'm sorry. Many of these terms are unfamiliar to me.
Future. The future hasn't occurred yet.
Oh my. There are new aspects to cosmology that I am unfamiliar with here.
Well, thank you for the tea.
I'm sorry, I forgot to serve it to you. It's been a while since I've had guests. I have... He starts going through his cabinet of jars and stuff. What is tea? What do people drink in it?
It was more just an expression that thank you for your hospitality.
Oh,
We should
well,
probably be on our way. Yes.
All
right.
Yes, perhaps we will. We must venture here again. I didn't get your name.
I'm. Looks like he's racking his head. They called me Greed.
Interesting. Very well. Perhaps we will arrange another meeting. We're fixing a bit of a problem over on the other side of the moon at the moment.
He looks where you're pointing out of this window where the giant construction is happening and the dust is
Yeah.
kicked up. I had wondered if that was normal.
Yeah, no, there was a bit of a thing, but we're fixing it now. So
I had just thought that's what this did.
what did?
This sphere I built my house on. I just thought it did that sometimes, and this was the time.
No.
I didn't realize there was outside interference. I would have come out and said hello.
Well, we are out here for a few days, and we will no doubt return if nothing else to visit.
I wouldn't want to interfere. If you want to come visit, I'm here. I have games. Games of mind and games of chance. Did a bee sting him?
Against the window.
Oh, look, a flying rock.
A little
Kind
pebble.
of like the rest.
If only that window opened. Without violence.
That would have been perfect. Just
Just bring us
smash,
his
there you
here.
go.
He looks up and the window starts opening.
Everything's pressurized.
I'm Newt from Aliens.
Spider-Man.
He just kind of sits there, kind of holding his hands in his hands.
Okay, I guess I'll leave a. I should suppose I should leave an offering in the outside. It would only be polite.
Isn't that what he leaves for monks who come by?
No, monks would leave it for him.
Oh.
Well, that's...
If there were monks here. If there were people here.
Leave dog shit in a paper bag, put it on the mat, spring the doorbell, and run
take a
away.
shovel.
Buy him a puppy, let him get attached to it, wait till he goes out one night, kill it, leave it in the box.
So he leaves some. Lothar will leave a few things from. Trophies aren't really appropriate, so he'll leave some of the materials he got from the zoo.
Here's my book.
No, he won't. That'd be gouch to leave the holy book.
Yeah, you'd be
Just like
gouging
someone
him.
else's holy book.
Just slide in the pamphlet between the door crack.
Next time you come up, there's a no solicitors sign on the door.
Just take a shovel.
Power
dig
word
some
kill.
moon
When
rock.
return to senders not sufficient.
And an electronic game that one of his
Yeah,
workers
sure. There's
gave
plenty of
him.
those. You got plenty of those. They're great.
And yeah, that's a couple magazines, and that's the main thing.
You leave stuff.
I leave stuff, offerings.
Do you leave anything?
No. I don't leave anything.
Mathiel leaves.
You exit this instance.
Yeah.
This little part of the map that if you click on, you can access.
Okay, fly out. Don't you know who Greed is? We should ask the others.
Don't you know? If you don't, can we ask them?
I mean, I know, but I know. I just want to check if you know.
I'm assuming it's someone who is exiled here.
It's us Manticorp. They know greed. They know all the greed.
Okay, so yeah, we'll fly back.
You fly back to the party.
Right in. So, we ran into someone named Greed.
Oh.
Was he greedy?
No, not particularly.
Then why is it called greed?
What a bitch! I'll kill him!
He does not appear to be from the previous reality. He is not. Doesn't seem to have any knowledge, unless he was lying, of the cycle.
I mean, if he lives on the moon, how would he?
Well,
Who's the first thing that went to space?
I'm busy vomiting trees here.
like four-leaf clovers and like New Zealand hobbit holes and stuff. I'm the paint tool. The fill bucket.
Jackson's gonna come up here and film movies.
Fill it full of holes, hobbit holes.
Like the nature from like the annihilations that's creeping in everywhere.
Right?
Does Crimson Marquee apply to that?
There's like a billion things named to Greek in history.
Yeah, it's a very common thing for demons to name themselves.
he seemed to be quite somewhat interested in the topic of him.
Whoa. Everything shakes.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Is he
then.
that old?
No, he didn't know that he's dead.
Whoa.
That he's old. I mean,
Yeah.
Try to
Like he-
phrase it. Oh, sorry.
yeah. Like if you have a breaker here that was created thousands of years ago, well, him still existed and didn't know what happened, then you
I
have
think
this.
that in this timeline, he was always dead?
No.
No, I'm asking Devin,
That's-
wasn't he?
He was not dead, then he was dead.
So
But he was always dead.
there was a
but he
time
was not always
when
dead.
him existed in this
Both
time.
at the same time. No, both at the same time is the answer.
Okay.
He's sure
He existed, and he has always been dead and extinct at the same time. It happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
Constant explosion.
Try to pronounce it with a lowercase h. A lowercase h. It's
I don't think
Activate.
you can if you're actually referring to. She'll make the hand motion instead.
Wow.
jazz hands.
Now if you make a
Is that-
blasphemy
Instead of
engine,
referring to it as him, we'll just do
Effective
jazz
from
hands.
Mortal Action says the same.
Well, if they're talking about him and they understand the concept of him, like they get what they're referring to and they say him, because it's a short form for saying the entire known reality given sapience and acting through the divine, whim of reality, then yes. It's like if you know dragon speech in like Skyrim and it makes, that shaking.
Yep.
Going to like a china shop and just saying it constantly so everything falls off the shelf.
Cut that shit out.
You make a blasphemy engine on this.
Well, it's very interesting that someone's living up here.
Not unusual.
We'll probably stop in and say hello sometime during this fixing process.
Yep, so does Hazel.
Also, did you guys actually carve any symbols into the moon?
No, we're gonna go back and finish doing
We're
that.
gonna go do that. I just wanted to know if we had to worry about being killed by a new omnipotent force that we just unleashed.
Killed on sight. No questions asked.
Okay, because if you guys are doing it, then so am I.
Obviously,
You're like Charlie and Mac throwing rocks at trains and Always Sunny. If you do it, everyone else is going to join in.
Everyone okay, we can't just let
No,
them
of
do
course
it,
not.
otherwise
That
we're
would
going to
be
be like,
ridiculous.
Lothar and Mattail. Oh, Mattail fixed the fucking sky.
Oh.
She's the sky god.
and
Although it is kind of amusing to have Mattiel take
take the point.
But I am happy with not leaving my mark on this moon. It's up to the Pantheon, where I will put all of your marks. You all seem to be quite busy.
The Marquis just kind of squints and gestures towards the city on the moon, and then the giant crack that is clearly made with like fluorescent Thea plants and Azazel plants, and it's like we've left our mark. We've done it. It's already done.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just do whatever you like. Leave it up here. Let them know that the Pantheon was here.
It'll be obvious with the context.
So, do you guys do anything else before you leave the moon?
Don't talk to the guy.
Shovel in my mark.
Yeah, you guys are carving that in. Fuck this.
Gotta
All
do
right.
something to keep
Does
busy.
anyone else go to the House of Greed? Does
Just
the vampire with your vampiric mist?
Why not? Maybe I'll recognize the guy.
Okay. You just had it, too. Alright, same house. Do you knock? Beep!
Well, I can't,
it's
it's
not.
only polite for a vampire to be invited inside. Tradition and all that.
So you knock.
Yes.
Again, 20 minutes go by.
He doesn't even wait that long. Every 2 minutes, he's just knocking again.
Or it might just blink.
What if every time you knock, it resets the timer?
Consecutively
Earthbound.
longer period of time.
Murky manifest a battering ram.
20 minutes go by before you hear it unlocking and the door opens and the same thing I described last time shows there. Hello?
Hello?
Hey there. With the rest of the Pantheon.
Oh, the gods. Did you guys tell him your name?
I did. That's
Sure.
right. I introduced
All
myself.
right. You're the gods of Matael and Lothar's pantheon. The pantheon of Matael and Lothar.
Yes, we're all the Pantheon.
Crimson Marquis.
I'm Thea.
I'll say he's a little goat-headed.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Hello.
Hello.
Figured it only proper, as we are partially neighbors now. He just kind of gestures to the city on the horizon to introduce ourselves as well.
Right. That's what is that?
A facility to ensure that the moon retains integrity, as it was badly damaged by one of the civilizations down below.
I don't really understand. Is
Oh.
that a place?
Yes, another place. A much more crowded place.
Do people live there?
Oh, so many.
100?
What is the...
Are you referring to the facility or the
Ugh.
epistle? Or whatever they
Oh,
call it?
no, that's a world. It's vastly populated. There's probably about 1,000 people.
Oh, you know, then you mean the city, yes. A few hundred. They're
It must be a major capital.
of a sort. They will leave you alone. They are very peaceful, quiet.
Oh, all right. Would you like courtesy things?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I haven't had guests.
Well, as takes a good barrel of
Oh,
wine.
last time I fucked it up.
We could some courtesy. We brought some wine. Would you like to partake?
Oh, I think I remember that from plants.
Yes.
Rotted, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have glasses.
Perfect.
He brings out some glasses that are encrusted with platinum and gems and neutron and stuff, and are worth wealth 6 or 7.
Rub them a little, just a little.
He takes out
It's
some.
common courtesy to give us all your fucking glasses when we
He takes out he hands out glasses, and he has a bowl because he doesn't have enough glasses.
Can we sense anything off this guy?
He's supernatural as fuck.
Okay.
But not divine.
No, he's divine, but he's not a god. It's hard to tell.
Angel?
It's hard to tell. He doesn't feel like an angel. You've met angels.
You ever met an angel? Do I get a sensation of the type of divinity that's
Nothing you've ever encountered before.
No, not him, not...
Oh, definitely him based.
Oh, well.
It's not his forehead glowing.
You guys are all him based.
I hope we're not... Oh.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You seem a little out of touch.
I like to keep to myself. I don't like really interfering with the affairs of the mortals. It seems a bit rude.
Now, what do you preoccupy yourself with?
Oh, I read. I make things. I'm not very good at it. I write. I rest. I meditate. I play games. I have games that I can play with myself. Oh, someone recently, I don't remember who, he takes out an electronic game, gave me this as a gift. I left it in my gift box. And I've been amusing myself with it. It's like a puzzle electronic game. It's new.
Yeah.
Should we tell him?
Not unless he asks. How long have you had this home here?
Oh, since it was here.
Oh, why am I asking? The Marquis just kind of reaches down to touch the floor and senses the age of the house.
The house is as old as the moon.
When was
The epistle created?
Yeah.
It's hard to nail down a timeline because time doesn't work
It
properly.
was created on the left bracket.
Yeah, somewhere when the left bracket happened. The things in the house, that his personal effects, are older than that. They predate the moon.
Have you been alone a long time?
Since I got here, I like to keep to myself. I don't like interfering with animals. It's rude.
From human.
What manner of company did you keep before then?
Oh, I had my place, and I had my staff, and I had my visitors, and I had my contemporaries, and I had my allies, and I had my enemies.
What a non-answer. Do you remember any names or specific people?
Do you let us know about that?
What?
The age thing, you just spurt it out?
Well,
over
you
the
can
intercom?
send us messages like,
Text.
You guys want to join the Skype conversation happening as you're carving your names into the moon?
Yeah,
I'll
you just,
listen in.
yeah,
You'll listen, you'll read the log.
Yeah, he'll kind of post that then.
Okay.
That it's like before the moon.
So I guess
before the world existed.
I guess they will do Mark of the Maker to figure out who made it and purposes and all.
Who made the
that.
goblet? Some nameless asshole of some kingdom you've never heard of in some time period that's long gone by. Yeah. For a kingdom, for another person you don't even know. It predates the epistle.
Weird.
Were you originally from the Epistle? Or
Is
did
that
you come
is
from-
that what this place is called?
Yes, this
That's
world.
That
this
place
land.
is called.
No. I came here from before.
What was before? Where was before?
Oh, I came from first.
Oh. Tell us of first.
Oh, it was a place like this. Not as big, not as flat, not as many things in the sky. About the same amount of people. It was very densely populated, about 2,000-3,000 people.
There are millions of people.
Yes, 2,000 or 3,000 people. The word he's using for 2,000 or 3,000 people is the word for many beyond count, and that's the same word he is getting from you when you say millions. He's using an obscure translation of it. Yes, many
like
beyond
10,000.
count.
Yeah.
For him, many beyond count is like 2,000 or 3,000.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be setting up some monitoring systems here. Oh, hey, you have been on the moon forever. What happens when it goes to the bottom of
To the where?
the plate?
Behind that plate.
Yeah, you know the plate where all the people live? It's just one plate. So the moon goes...
When it goes to the
Well-
other side of it.
Oh,
Face.
I don't know. I sort of rest or tune out or meditate when the sun goes down. It's what we used to do when we had a sun.
You mean when the moon goes down?
Well, no, because you pick up
In
like
perspective.
yeah,
the
he's
sun
like
goes
see
down.
the moon go in the sun. Like there's a day night on the moon.
Yeah.
I just close the blinds. It's what you do.
Okay.
So.
I tried gardening when I first got here, but it didn't work. The seeds didn't take. There's a garden outside I mentioned earlier with withered and dead plants that have long since petrified and turned to dust.
Well,
It didn't take.
Jesus looks over and starts, fixing that up. Yeah, maybe those will take.
Oh, good. I hadn't thought of that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I tried mixing different soils. I learned that from someone once. There was a god in my pantheon. They were a forest, and they taught me their magic too. And he explains how to mix nitrogen soils and like till the earth, and he explains it as if it was a miracle of the gods.
Quite magical.
So, did you like make an entire?
Whereas you're just like, blam, plants are back.
Did you make all the area around his place fertile then? Like, can he just set up his own garden?
Animal Crossing?
Impossibly fertile.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's much more advanced.
We also... Are there people in that facility?
Oh yeah, there's people.
But they can't leave.
He's specifically designed to live there.
Okay.
You can go visit them if you wish. They live in the city is comfortable. They will provide polite conversation.
Oh, I should wait for them to come to me. That's usually what I'm supposed to do. That's what I was told to do.
Feel free to avail yourself to the... It's less a home for them and more a meeting place. With homes within it. You are more than welcome. It is a communal area.
I guess I could set up there. I haven't done that in a while.
By the way, do you know Faust? Yeah.
Oh, Floss does that too?
Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry, I thought you said it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I talked to the mother father.
That's the sound it plays.
Yeah, because I think he mentioned you.
That seems like something they would do. You mentioned things that happened to you in cities.
Yeah, he remembers you.
He has no further input on that unless you prompt him for something. Yes, I also remember meeting him. That happened.
He mentioned that he made you.
Yeah, he made all of us. And whenever you guys say him, even when you read on your phone, like your phone like does the and you're looking at it.
So the whole technology of vibration is made out of me saying him.
I'm just picturing like
It's more
it
like a
doesn't really
thematic.
the phone doesn't really vibrate, but when you look at it, it's like the text like on GIFs where it's like
Oh,
We
yeah,
have like
probably
generators
should have
hooked up where people just yell his name.
It's more numinous than that, but sure.
Yeah, you know, blasphemy engines.
He made all of you. Have you how is it when he made you?
They are slightly different than what you or basically I would be.
Well, do you remember him?
No, I don't. But I'm from him world, right?
Yeah, but you're not the same Fea, basically.
Yeah, but okay, but like
You could
original,
film amnesia.
like
He's talking about your birth, which would be him
Okay.
making you from his own flesh.
I don't. It was too long ago for me.
It was a very long time ago for me. He was very eternal, but still new and on the eternal side.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
But the other members of my pantheon were originally mortals, and
Oh, that's strange. That's a different way to do it.
and now they've ascended to godhood.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the new way it's done now.
Yes, Faust and Fui are still gods of the other sort.
They seem a little more transient than how they used to be.
That's certainly a word for them.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, when things like us were made, they were made to be, and then they never change. And they just exist. And the new ones, the mother, father, and I guess you seem like you change and are different over time. That's weird. But it's different.
Oh, he changed. I'm not sure whether the mother and father changed.
Oh, they definitely change. I'm pretty sure that they could be slain.
Oh, yes, most
That's
certainly.
very new. That's a different implementation that he used to do it.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
So
I'm almost certain they can be harmed.
so you can't be slain?
No, why would I be? I was made.
Ah. Interesting.
And your name is Greed.
Yes, I remember that. I was called Greed. There were other names. They're hard to remember, but I took the Greedy.
Why were you called Greed?
Because I took the Greedy. He says, as if you should know that.
You do the greedy people, mortals?
Yes, the greatest evil ever made was greed. And so if people are too greedy, when they perish, I collect them underground, and I make them stay underground and build a temple out of rich things. And then when the temple's done, that's it. There are no more greedy people. Because there can only be like 30, 50 greedy people at most. And then they'll learn their lesson. And they can leave the underground. I'm original sin, he says with a smile.
Definitely
The ultimate evil.
Nemesis.
Yes, that was my name. Nemesis. He made me to be the source of all evil in my world, so that the wicked and the most terrible, the greedy, would be drawn to me instead of being put back into the cycle to purge impurities. The most heinous and destructive, people who were selfish.
Your world sounds a lot simpler, and
It was the first. I came from first.
literally the first.
Yes. It can't be anything before first, because first is first.
Well, when you talk about mathematics, right?
He doesn't get that. He doesn't understand what zero is.
She's not gonna. Thea's not gonna go into
She's
that.
talking about left bracket.
Interesting, interesting. I suppose. Well, I suppose that he can also change because he also made different gods and worlds and
It was changes in the design, because he is entropy, he is decay. So all things that are permanent and made perfect first, gestures to himself, eventually decay and change, and that's how things get different. Mutation.
Yep.
You start from a perfect set of elements, and they break down and intermingle and mutate, and as they get lesser, they become more and change. Like a block of marble becoming a statue.
it's very interesting. Very interesting speaking with you.
So you want me to set up the new hell in the new underworld in that place?
Oh, that is not remotely what I said.
Well, you said to go there and be with them.
You're welcome to visit. That was simply it. In a more mortal
I
way,
can't
not
visit.
Really?
They have to come to me.
Oh, they're incapable of that, so I suppose...
Well, then they're not greedy. Then they can't visit me.
Oh, yes, they are not greedy, indeed.
Oh,
If they're not sinners, they can't come to my, and he gestures to a little cabin, my underworld.
Well, fair enough.
The most wicked in the world are sent here to help me finish building it. There's various small projects in here that haven't been done yet.
When was the last time someone was sent here?
Never.
Oh,
The Epistle is a morally clean world. It must have found a way to balance out the objective evil problem.
Okay.
I just don't want to ruin this for him. He's a cute little innocent guy. It's okay.
Baby's first Satan.
If
Instead of, like,
Luthor is
two
getting
people,
the text version
yeah.
of this, he puts up a quizzical bird head emoticon like what?
I keep deleting that, but it keeps showing up again. He just spams it. This is why I go to the Telegram mode. So many stickers.
It's a mimetic virus. It's affecting all your phones.
Yes, well, what a wonderful discovery. Or what a wonderful form of hell where you never have to punish anyone or keep them here.
Well, they just have to build the castle. And once the castle's done, which would take a few hundred years with the amount of sinners there are, once it's done, it's done.
And then they go back.
There's only so many materials. There's only so much castle you can build.
Well, in this scenario, once they do so, their souls would have been cleansed of greed, and they're no longer greedy. So when they get reincarnated, or
Oh, they just go back up.
when they just go back, they're no longer sinners. So
He,
there
like,
won't
has
be
a-
any more sinners.
He has like a little painting of his world where it's like there's people frolicking in a field, and there's a staircase that goes underground and it's cut away, and there's an underworld where people are like laying bricks made of gold down with like a spade and stuff and are building like a castle, and like they just look mad, and he's sitting there in a chair watching them.
That's
The ultimate moral resolution system. People who are selfish, the absolute worst people who could ever exist, have to go underground when they die and build my temple, so they have to build a palace they don't get to own, and then when they're done doing actual hard work, they walk back up to the real world.
Well, this has been enlightening.
But definitely want to read more about it first, if you have some books on that.
Yeah,
Or
I
write
have
them.
all the collected knowledge about the first world. And after that painting, he takes out a single book that is less than 100 pages.
Okay, it's not that big then.
No, it's like a big,
Why?
like it's a large landscape style book. It's
Oh.
mostly paintings.
And it'll be like old,
It's big. It's pictograms, man. Language did not get advanced where he came from. It only lasted about. The collected history of the world is in those less than 100 pages. Each page is a year. My world lasted time beyond count, about 100 years, a little less. 100 full rotations before of course, the end of days happened. Time ran out, entropy took place, and everything was crushed down and evaporated. That is, the cycle. Worlds spring up, and then they flow away into nothing.
interesting. I'll also want to peruse that book, but...
You use your artifice gift to make a copy of it.
Sure, I can make a copy of it. Here's one for you.
Okay, I was just going to sit here and read it, and then when we
It's
left,
It's basically a giant picture book.
Yeah,
In like acrylic oil paintings on
I guess
vellum.
I'll...
like egg paintings.
Yeah.
It preserves the color of the ink really well.
Yeah. I guess I'll just kind of buy it from him, as in I'm giving him gifts of games and other things for his amusement.
Oh, are you making a deal with me?
Sure, let's make a deal.
Okay, let's make a deal. He picks up his hand, moves it over to where you are.
Marquis leaves. He's just like, oh,
Leaving out to see what happens.
thank you for the hospitality.
Yes, you're welcome.
Goodbye.
So I will give you the collected knowledge of the first world in exchange for its value.
Well, how would you gauge its value?
Oh, my other name was the Soulsman, and my official title was the Merchant. I know everything about value, for value is the source of all selfishness. I perfectly can calculate it and know it and gauge its weight based on the prescriptions of him, the ultimate authority from which all authority is derived, entropy. The entropy of value in one's soul tells me.
So are you saying that you're going to be taking his soul?
No, his soul's not worth that. The value would be out of scale.
What is the value?
I won't know till we make the deal.
That does not sound like a good idea.
It'll be fair, perfectly balanced in every way. That's how evil works. It corrodes you by showing you absolute truth as a mirror into yourself and forces you to change.
Is it the objective value
I
or
don't
the
understand
value?
the difference between those two words you're about to say.
Well, I'm going to make a
I only know his truth.
I'm going to make a nice doyless decision here and take the bargain.
All right.
Shake, shake, shake.
About 30 of your goat people just kind of pop up around his house in the forest. They're no longer your worshippers. They are stricken from your cult.
Okay. A fair exchange.
It's a copy, so it's not quite as valuable.
Yeah.
Also, no, we got to deal with this. I don't think he got the good end. I don't think he got the good end of this deal.
The moment you close the door, like black metal music starts playing in the back and like breaking
They're like
things.
butting his windows apart and stuff.
I mean, they're the bad people, right? So,
I wonder who made them that way.
I mean, if they were from a cult, they're artificers, for they can fix the place up in no time, and they'll be back. It'll be all fine. Or not. Whatever.
There
I'll
you
be
go.
breaking again.
You made a deal with the merchant, the souls man.
I'm
AKA
going to
Manon.
make
Greed.
a
Ultimate evil.
what's this chess? If there's a different word for chess in this world, it's chess.
It's just a chest to like put things in for like a religious person or a monk or something.
That's not what I was saying. The game chess.
Oh, chess. There's a bunch of different ones. Dragon Ship hasn't been invented yet, which was the chess ripoff in this world.
Okay. Can you please make me a chess set?
Okay. So what? Like you,
There.
I make you so you can give it
Thank
up.
you. I just want to sit here and teach him the game. I was gonna play games with him. It's not like in character. I'm just this is how I'm gonna pass the time. Yeah.
He's really good. He's freakishly good.
I'm also in 19 though, so. Yeah.
You're gonna lose to him a lot. Unless you really, really put effort in.
Start cheating. You won't expect that.
You can't cheat at games. There's strict rules you follow.
See, just put something on the line so that you'll be more motivated to win. And the fighting spirit will be enough.
There you go. Anyway, I think that's enough with the merchant. You've met the first evil, the original Satan.
He's fantastic.
Back when the world was a little less gummed up with D&D bullshit.
Nice.
Yeah, he was a 20 hit die outsider that you can fight.
Oh no.
The strongest thing in the setting. Nothing had more than 19 hit die.
And then something beat him, entered their initials into the high score.
No one beat him. The world just kind of was crumbled up into a ball. They got above like level 6.
We're done with this setting.
And he was like, this is garbage. I'm going to write a token setting next. Pretentious. Anyway, you fix the moon, but it's one single naturalized occupant. And I assume leave.
Yes.
Yep. Alright.
Although, since the moon's so big and there's nothing on it that could provide resistance.
You can make any changes all you damn well please on the moon. Though if you do, eventually you're going to probably fuck with what's inside and they'll start to wake up and want to burrow out, and that'll be a problem.
Yeah, wouldn't that be the resistance?
But you have to make enough changes to trigger it to happen.
Spirit villages everywhere.
Oh, you fuck.
Okay.
You have to save us from the devil. It's like, what does he do? He waters us.
Don't know they're my people. What are your plans?
It's a plant. He's like, has like a watering can. He's
I
just
mean,
watering it.
Yes. Sort of.
Fuck.
I have a shower you.
800,000 of us died from pneumonia. We're so little. Water actually has like viscosity, and we get trapped in the bubble.
Here's what you need to do. You need to get a bunch of shards, stockpiles from Dominion, and you need to turn the what's inside of the moon into make it like you're a member of your cult, or turn it into a giant goat or something.
So you just grab Unity Towers, stick that all
The
in.
fucking severed head, the icon of sin from Doom, comes out of the moon. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, one time the moon just goes down, and when it comes up, it's a giant flying goat head that fires death rays.
Yeah, the icon of sin, and what's his name, John Romero or whatever, starts saying, to win this game, you must kill me, John Romero.
Then Greed is like, oh, that's new.
So I guess Marcus wanted to show us something.
Oh, he did.
Every time fucking people are saying that now, I'm thinking they're talking about Mark, and I'm like,
Marcus.
what?
Anything else we want to do before we wrap this up?
Stuff's going to be happening in the next chunk of this session, so I'm going to pause and offload the file. We're back. So, you guys go back to Night City.
Marquis kind of fidgeting with his brooch the entire time, looking at his phone, just doing very ADHD kind of things the entire time.
You all fly back in silence.
So I have something to show you. It should be prepared about now.
Now?
Here, let's take a ride to the top of my tower. Or fly up there, whichever you prefer.
Sounds
Is this
good.
another Necron 4?
Necron, he's the
All of the new gods.
I think in character everyone does that, just because.
Oh no. This is far more fast.
This is far more appropriate.
Far more appropriate. All the television screens, like all the screens that are usually spouting propaganda, have gone black.
Stand by.
On standby. So yeah, he invites everyone to the top of the tower where all his vampire nobility are all watching in seats. They have like binoculars, those classic opera ones, the sticks.
Yeah, you have several notifications on your brooch that everything's been put into place.
Yeah.
Is ominous Latin music ready to start playing?
It's pretty good. Are you going to show them the geofront?
Oh yeah, one of those screens pops up and activates to show a gigantic facility the size of a city filled with those antenna, like the Unity antenna, all pointed in. It's like a reverse geode.
What is this?
You know, geodes have like little stalactite crystals point in. It's like ceiling, walls, and everything in an egg shape with radio towers all built in, like a big cluster of them of hundreds of shapes and sizes. And it's the size of Japan.
A facility. I'm giving Unity exactly what they want.
That's an interesting thing for you to do.
Oh yes, it is activating now.
Why am I... It is odd. I feel this strange sense of, even though you have almost a dread.
Faye's like confused, but she's willing to ride this out. She's like, you hate Unity. You're saying you're giving them what they want.
What is it?
I don't think that's true, but I can't really predict what you guys are going to do usually, so maybe this is what he's doing.
Thea doesn't have to worry about. She has a network. She can track things out of their network probably.
What does it do exactly?
Oh, you'll see. It is doing its thing right now. Imagine, if you will, a world without corporations, without hive minds, without hyper-elves. Imagine a world with only gods and kings.
Who do you be rolling?
That's an interesting way to put that.
And he activates everything all at
You
once.
click your brooch.
Yeah.
All right. There's silence. People are waiting. Nothing's happening for a little bit. Where are you guys looking out at? Where did you position him to look out at?
He's watching the hyper-elf forest.
Very good. Very good. So yeah, minute goes by. Another minute. 10 minutes have gone by.
I get a phone call. Diaz Ari. Oh, sorry, 1 sec. I'll turn that off. One of my worshippers.
About 20 minutes now and you start to hear it. It's been rumbling through the air, getting louder. And it's coming not from the Hyper-Elf forest, but from the forest Peter set up with the Smurfs, and around where Manticore is, and from several places around your city. Screaming.
That should be, right?
A cry goes out in unison. As where Peter's forest is, a great amount of fire sets up and smoke. Same with Manticore. Same with some areas around your city. And then eventually the Elven Forest catches on fire, all of it.
Oh,
Ah, there we go. Shit.
Not like a campfire, but more like a large amount of explosions and like flashes.
It's always trial and error. Trial and error. Yeah.
can I see with my network what the screaming around our city is about?
Yeah, there were colonies of future factions that were aligned with like Manticore and Unity and like Jolierite enclaves, and just from what you can see with your panopticon that you've set up, people inside are holding their heads on their knees, screaming and slamming their heads against the wall. People are shooting at walls. Explosions are going off. Vehicles are crashing into each other. People are picking themselves up and crucifying themselves to walls with Azazel symbols all over their face. There's a lot of Azazel iconography everywhere.
And when you say around our city, do you mean in our city or
Just pockets that have set up shop that you guys just hadn't quite noticed yet.
in our city then?
No, like around it, like in
Around.
in the north.
Outside of it, okay. When you're saying places around our city, that meant it's in the city, and I was like,
a large metal orbital that just had been in the mountains and was, getting up and had its own kind of field, decloaks as like its plates blow off, and it just starts to crash in the mountains like to the south of your city.
What was that?
Looked like some faction had like an orbital city they built. Not Dericho. This isn't happening in Dericho. Dericho's fine.
Yeah. The Marquis looks enraptured by all this. He's just staring out with intent.
Puts holy book. Do not mock the ways of others. There are other paths to survival that can have profound effects, and he just underlines it a bunch of times and then puts it back.
It's from Texo Malus.
Yes, hello?
Screaming. Like millions and millions of voices screaming at different keys.
Oh, music in my ears. Have you ever wondered what would happen to Unity if we took their network, their entire network, the network they had in the future, and set it up in hell? Those screaming minds,
oh.
amplified by the faith of those wholly devoted to a god of debauchery.
Oh.
Oh my.
That is what the hyper elves are feeling now. That is what Unity is feeling now. That is what everyone is feeling now.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Which factions were affected? Obviously, Manticore.
Manticore, Unity, the hyper elves. I think I set them up in a few others as well, like quite a few others.
Those are the ones you sketched out. You have no idea what Texonellis did when he totally went behind your back and did other stuff.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he probably hit that. I mean, in his shoes, and not that Lothar would be very good at get in this. I suspect he may have hit the Helldivers.
Mark, you know what he was doing here.
I don't think he's telling us that Texonellis is in on it.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just kind of shakes his head. It's like a few others.
Well, I'm very interested to see how this affected the hyper elves, the kindly masters, as it were.
We could go there soon. I believe it is not safe right now. For roughly maybe a half hour, they are the most dangerous apex predators one could ever expect.
The towers, are they... I assume you installed some sort of off switch?
We'll call it that.
Okay. Just wanting to make sure this wasn't a permanent thing.
Oh no, that would be insane.
Yes. That's why I was concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll quickly dial up my High Priest.
You okay?
And tell him, be prepared for an absolute F-ton of casualties and incoming badness from pretty much everyone.
Sure. They'll get prepped. They don't really know what's going on. There's a lot of fireworks going on around the horizon.
Remember, they're the Boy Scouts and they are adaptable and always prepared, so they're doing whatever they can.
They couldn't really prepare for this.
No, but they can
No one
handle
decided to
other
sweep
stuff.
the board.
Marquis sits down in a seat.
I wonder if I could, since I have a shrine on the Unity tree, could I project myself there and like smite the broadcast tower there to cut those people away from there so they don't suffer as much if there's anything left there, I guess.
Well, that tree's on fire right now. It took a while for this to ramp up because they were trying to equalize with Unity already. Because you gave them 1,000,000 mines.
Yeah.
It's gotten much worse.
Well,
You could try killing them all, sure.
yeah, I guess I'll just try to cut down the broadcast tower there. So they would stop being the network. Salvage a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Hey, that tree,
Yeah.
it's missing parts.
Okay.
Like look, someone took clippings from it.
Okay.
So like you still hear your Smurfs on the network, even after you blow down that tower.
Okay.
They good idea'd it. Unity good idea'd it. They took their own and made their own copies of it.
Well,
I don't think Unity did
It
that.
wasn't really Unity, but you're
Oh.
close.
It wasn't anything I did.
I didn't do that.
Well, I wish you'd given us some heads up before implementing this. We could have organized to make a coordinated strike at Manticore, rob them blind while they're in chaos.
Oh, it's not going to matter. They'll all be dead. We can take the entire facility, provided they don't do anything foolish
Also,
in their madness.
you have been saying you're working on a project for months now.
They have the...
I assumed if people were concerned, they would have asked you about it. I was trusting that you would do something that I would like.
Don't they have access to this super weapons tech that could annihilate large portions of the Epistle?
Marquis kind of shrugs.
You're an air raid siren echoing from the north, from where Manticore is.
Okay. Call again. Fly away. Scatter.
Oh,
This is
were
a-
they at Manticore? The note you're calling, they weren't at Manticore.
No. He's not predicting an attack on Manticore. He's predicting like the city to get hit by at least one faction. Like
Yeah, they start running. People start fleeing in panic and stuff. So a lot of objects start flying out of silos that were in the ground at Manticore. You can see them like stars. They go up and they kind of sputter out and they start falling back down over Manticore, leaving mushroom cloud-like explosions over it.
Oh. I don't believe we will be able to loot them. She does the air quotes.
I mean,
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
something might survive. Let's repair it.
This is
I can repair
Celestial shards are difficult to destroy.
fair. This is a lot of deaths. This is interesting.
Oh yeah, your network, it's picking up people by the thousands like every minute. The casualties are unimaginable. Like Acerin calls you, what the fuck is going on, mum?
There's too many of us.
Oh fuck. Like, because they don't have the machine going at full capacity, but they have a bank where they're storing things in the network, and it is overfilling faster than the tanks can generate.
Well, it's filling, but
Like, new tanks automatically come into being from like an
oh yeah,
execution.
exactly. Like the tank holders are there, but they can't make as many Acerins as there are.
The Ghostbusters containment grid is moving up fast. What is going on? We none of us were looking.
The Crimson Marquis has
Happened.
dealt with many of our. A lot of people are dying.
Oh, I didn't realize. I have to go. Then you
suppose-
face hang up on you.
Whoa!
They have to go. They have to go.
I suppose I should apologize for not saying this in advance, but do you know that whenever you have a question, please do approach me. I would never do anything that would inconvenience my pantheon without proper payment for the inconvenience involved.
The ground starts shaking.
He kind of gestures over for the tree when he says that.
Yeah.
You guys ever been in an earthquake before?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big one. It's shaking the city. The city's built for earthquakes because you're an idiot, but it's not just the city that's shaking. It's the entire northern continent.
Oh,
It's a continent-wide earthquake.
Well, hopefully my people. I told them
They're
specifically
fleeing.
to go skyward.
A small beam of light, maybe 5 meters in diameter, starts showing up from the center of where the Manticore complex is, and going straight into the sky.
does it crash through the sky?
Oh yeah, it punches a hole through it leaves like a shadow mark on the
Firmament.
sky, and goes right into where Cosmos is, like the big machine reality you guys could go to, where angels live. It's boring a hole into it, and that's like cutting up the machinery that gets in the way. Like gears are being, like celestial plate gears are being cut up and stuff in there.
Whew.
Yeah, that's shaking. The ground around Manticore is puffing up like a pastry, and the cracks in it are giving off that same light.
Is this part of the plan?
I guess
This is most likely their doomsday.
that's a December roll, probably.
Ugh.
Yes, the vault that they used to Ghostbuster trap all of the energy from the entire apocalypse end of the world Big Bang.
Oh.
Remember that? The thing that holds an entire Big Bang's worth of destruction?
On the bright side, they're unable to aim it at the moment. I do believe they're likely bleeding from the ears.
As you're saying that, your voice gets overwritten by a cone of light, probably the size of like Hawaii, blowing its expanding that thing into a full-on nuclear atomic bomb explosion. Like windows are blowing out, dust is thrown into the air. Anyone who isn't you guys get thrown to their feet or pasted against a wall. The city's shields go up, but mountains around you blow sideways and into rubble.
Oh boy.
People go blind.
Oh well, I can kill that. But
I
oh
can
boy.
fix that.
So probably a lot of them die.
Yeah, that your network keeps picking up casualties.
The
Hell,
network
the
gets
joke
fried.
at one point, a good portion around the network just got.
Yeah, no, the network's gone. The material is vaporized.
As a funny mention, part of the Marquis' religion in the city is that you don't build windows that face the way the sun rises, so that none of the windows shattered from that direction.
Oh, good. Yeah, none of you guys are talking. An explosion larger than any explosion you have ever been in goes off. And to give you you see the map? There's a big circle around where Manticore was and the shore and the ocean was that punches straight down through the plate into hell and straight up into chaos and cuts a hole into all of them. And
Through Cosmos into Chaos?
like, you just straight through
Oh, boy.
either side. And the continent has cracks in it now that will start to get worse as tectonics go off.
Oh.
Multiple of those mountains and the mountain ranges start erupting from the imbalance.
I guess it won't be cold here for long.
There'll be a lot of things here for long.
We just fix one small hole and now this.
An innumerable amount of debris and destruction is thrown up into the atmosphere. The sun's going to be gone for a little while.
Oh? Okay,
And,
I don't know what to make of that.
yeah. That's
Future people.
That's a Type 1 doomsday scenario. The magical people weren't trying to destroy the world. They were working on the vault with the tech they needed for it, when all of a sudden, in their most delicate operations, trying to access their energy network, something bad happened. And breached containment.
Crazy happenstance.
Yeah.
Walter Peck was right.
Yeah, like one of the moons was passing overhead too and got like zzzt.
We just fucking
Well, other D&D monsters are spinning out of the thing.
Anything that was inside that moon was vaporized.
It's not the same moon, right?
No, it's not that one.
Now we just be.
We only needed 2 moons.
Now we have
Fine.
4.
We were using that moon anyway. Yeah, I'm just getting an image of just like videotaping this with like Dea's Area or Fortuna playing this, and then just send it directly to Greed, going, Greed is the worst thing in the world, and just sending him that video.
Selfishness is the source of all harm.
I mean, yes.
Okay, yeah, no, he got it, guys.
We did this to prove a point.
Yeah, so Kevin's plan was to make the Unity Towers not cost Celestial Shards to build and have a way bigger area than 1 6-mile hex.
Yeah.
So he did both over 2 sessions with this underground geoscape. And then he just gave Texomail, that geoscape, that Tokyo-sized city, did nothing but build those materials and do the R&D for it.
Yep.
And then once it produced enough, he just gave them the Texomailus to spread around the hill. And then Texomailus took a little more and spread them elsewhere.
Yeah, and then I spread them to like the Elven Forest.
What did Texomailus get out of this?
He got towers.
what just happened?
Yeah, literally that's it. And none of the souls in the north go to hell because they're all in her network.
Yeah, you guys
So-
technically screwed him a little. Also, he thought he was bigger than the Unity Mine, so he put one in his own base so he could hear their screams. That's what that phone call was.
He's like, help!
Nice.
Large parts of hell are having problems.
Oh yeah, so if the Helldivers aren't dead, they're gonna have fun for a while.
There's problems down in hell. There's problems on the Epistle, though. You guys did the thing people went back in time to not do. Blow
Yeah.
holes in it.
Yeah. We just fix this.
If you don't like the game board, you flip the table.
You say, as the bomb shelter shielding goes down in your half-melted city.
We just started the game, man.
And of course, all the paper money, you just kind of steal that for a while.
There is nothing left of Manticore. It's gone.
Nicely done.
I mean, it literally has been replaced by a freaking like borehole to the center of the.
So how did we-
Past the center of the Epistle.
So did Manticore have Unity Towers in it? Or did we just...
Yeah, Texomailus put a bunch around there for fun.
Ah. And that'd be the containment? I give people
The madness while they were working on the thing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the Marquis is going to take full credit for where those got placed, though. So,
Oh, yeah.
for better or for worse.
And
literally.
ironically, those are the two factions. Lothar thought, eventually we're going to have to.
It's funny though, because Unity and Manticore were the two factions that Zazel mentioned that he was like favorable towards.
Yeah. And I should say,
I mean-
I was planning this out long before you said that is like those
This was like 2 sessions ago.
I mean, so like, those are the two factions we only interacted with.
I suppose it was necessary eventually. I know this must weigh heavy upon your heart.
There are asteroids crashing into your city and around the area.
Oh shit.
This is an ongoing, real emergency. People are dying. It doesn't matter because they will just get their souls, but
Yeah.
it does
But
matter.
what if the city gets hit? And
What
then-
about my city? My
Lothar-
stuff?
Lothar's people are going
Up.
to try and do the best they can with flight and stuff to survive and rescue people. And
Will people be safe in my tunnels, or will that be a cave-in situation?
Some of them are going to cave in.
Okay.
Our worshippers will go back to us, though.
You didn't build your city for this type of thing.
Oh, no,
This,
not at
this
all.
was not in the designs. It was a beautiful snowflake glacier sculpture.
Like I do.
Not a fallout shelter.
I know that we'll get their souls anyways. I just,
It's unfortunate, yeah.
like I don't want all our people to die.
The Marquis wasn't expecting it to go this far, but he's going to roll with it.
But the original plan was just to take out the Unity elves, like the hyper elves, which
Yeah.
are having problems, by the way. It's just Kevin did this and worked with Texonalis, and he decided to do other things, and they are working on the December Vault. So it
Do
kind
you
of
think it is likely that the other factions will retaliate against us?
How would they know it was us? A bunch of Unity towers went up.
It's unfortunate that Unity.
And there's devil marks all around them.
What?
There's devil marks all around them.
With Texonalis?
Yeah, he marked them. He marked his work.
To be fair, a lot of them are also carving Azazel's markets and shit.
One. That's one.
It would be a
In the
convenient excuse,
tree.
though. It's like, yeah, because my worshippers were on the network, so
Mhm, that's fair,
that was
yeah.
their last prayer.
They
to
built
me
where
before they
my
died.
worshippers were.
Yeah, okay.
We told them not to.
Yeah, it was a direct attack on you. That's
I
That's
rolled,
okay.
I rolled initiative. Culturally.
So what we do is once we've taken control of the city again, we send out relief and aid to the suffering people of the Epistle. The survivors from Unity or Manticore, whoever may have been out on a mission.
So, because the session went late, this was actually supposed to be kind of the second big half of it, where you guys would like avert catastrophes and try to stop things from destroying the city. But it's already 11, so that probably isn't going to happen. There's probably going to be retracted scenes of you acting to do firefighting, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, that's fine. That's kind of the second side.
I assume we do it anyways.
You do it anyway, I just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this could be pretty much this sets the tone for the next season.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want this
So
fall.
that detonation blew a hole in Cosmos, which was directly above Unity, or the Epistle, and it manages a lot of its reality. Those parts of reality are damaged.
So
Just like
perhaps a
arson.
few fixed
Yeah, you
elements of
arsoned
it.
this place.
Yeah. And plus we can harvest it for sweet shards.
I mean, Foss is gonna be angry, but
Yeah.
Foss Mountain exploded.
Oh.
I can
Oh.
just go up.
It was near the explosion.
God
and was
damn it.
detonated.
No. Isn't Fast Mountain like on the left side and the
Foss Mountain exploded.
He was in the north.
By the way, that's
My body fast.
no, except for like that is like a temple for my people.
You might have to fix a couple of your temples.
You might have to.
Alright, I might have to do a little bit of work here.
So, question.
Oh, shit.
So not question, but okay. So it's broken. So some of the laws of reality are broken. You know what I like? Being in charge of the order of reality. So I just want to go up there and just kind of like fix it. But
You mean tinker with it,
to
change
be,
it.
to be mine.
Fine, do your Dominion project.
Plus,
Fix
the
it.
Abyssal is Fui. It's part of Fui's body, so you guys really fucked shit up with this.
Oh, yes.
What do you mean?
She's part of the Epistle. You've weakened her position.
Yes! Yes!
But we also blew up fast.
When Thea
Fuck.
realizes that, which is probably going to be very quickly because she's very smart, she will
There's
be
no way he's
very
dead.
happy.
No, he's not dead, but his mountain's gone. Again.
Yeah, this eliminates a lot of resistance in the rest of the Epistle, or creates new resistance. Different resistance, but it's not a bunch of hyper corporations.
No, this is what the Season 2 idea was after you guys get established, see what factions you're active with, see how you handle there being a bunch of different empires, and then Season 2 shake it up. There's not big future empires or past empires anymore. Now there's hundreds and hundreds of little ones that are all weird and mixed up. And decentralized.
Okay.
Plus, this also segues nicely into you guys going to the other worlds that exist connected to the Epistle, the dead worlds, to, loot them.
We may need some parts.
Yeah, to repair our own.
So that was the idea I had for Season 2, big shake-up after, and Kevin provided a pretty good opportunity for that.
Okay.
Yeah, you blow up a big section of the world and cause a bunch of structural fundamental damage to it. Just like every epic evil.
Hubris.
Oh, what do you do about those Unity towers?
Oh yes, he takes that brooch off, crushes it, and immediately there's a bunch of explosions just everywhere, including in hell.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Oh wait, I'm just gonna deactivate the one in Peter's little forest, so it doesn't wipe out everyone else. That
You
one
already
just
blew
died.
that up.
Oh, okay, good. That was probably for the best.
This is like, wait, no. I deactivated that one.
I mean, since you now made it a baseline technology with your changes, then you could just put them back up, make new.
You're assuming Uni will be able to put those back up after what just
But
happened.
someone else might. Just kidding.
There could be like a reverb effect going throughout like the nature of reality. That
Plus-
anytime anyone activates a Unity tower, they just get the reverberations of the pain and death caused by that mess.
Yeah. Plus, the Unity tower, those repeaters are just that, repeaters. They repeat the one core tower in Unity, which
Which
is
no longer exists.
which is the crown of the world mind. It doesn't not exist. It's there, but
Damage.
Speaking of which,
problems. Other than that, in the coming days, you're going to be working full time to stop your people from being wiped out. You're going to suffer heavy losses. Your cults are going to get knocked down a peg.
Yay.
Blame the marquee. Like, seriously, just do it. Go ahead.
I don't want my cult to get knocked down. Okay.
It's going to happen. This is a world-ending event. You're going to have to build them back up,
Yep.
especially the Smurfs.
I'll take the cost of the Smurfs, put them on the moon, and now I won't have to deal with technology, so it'll be a plausible change. There. I'll be fine.
Sorry, guys.
It was really easy to build up the first time, to be honest, so we've got a lot of suits.
Plus, the North has no resistance.
Yeah.
The nerfs have blown up.
Is everyone okay with that?
is everyone? That's an interesting choice of words.
I mean,
I'm just asking. If
in
you're all like,
character-
oh, fuck. I want my cult to be big. Out of character.
Oh, out of
well, it's
character.
more
I mean,
like we
well,
spend the
it
minimum.
happened. This is the sort of thing Godbound is.
As long as people don't feel like they've been sucker punched.
It's like that we spend a million, but well, that's fine. That's what Godman is about.
I felt like it was one person being targeted. We all lost a lot of shit.
The reason
Well,
Lothar
boss like
spent
me
so much
and-
in doing this and set it up was so that basically because he knew things like this were going to happen. This is the
Plus,
Okay.
Yeah, but like me and Nicole suffered more because we like invested heavily into like implausible changes to make our cult. So that's like costing more per loss here. That's awesome.
yeah. But you also set up infrastructure to make them happen more. Like your billy goats are fast breeders and stuff.
I was
And the Smurf tree.
kind of cranky, but I'm like, I'm gonna have way more worshippers than you guys really fast because I'm the one that has all these souls.
Also,
I could
heal them.
breed them. That's
and
awesome.
healing, yeah.
so
So
we'll figure this
Yeah,
out.
you guys are the fertility breeder gods. You're going to have heavy swings.
We can, go back. Yeah, bring everything back.
Yeah, Dericho has problems as well. You guys are going to probably want to defend Dericho, like get it safe.
Yeah.
They were floating, so they've been knocked off course. Their city crashed somewhere, and they have to pull it back up now. The shockwave. I'm doing an updated map. It's not going to be a hex map anymore, because that concept was played out. Like, we didn't use the hexes at all.
Because we're like too many, too small.
Exactly. I have a different map that's almost done.
Cool.
And I'm doing one for each world. It takes a quarter of the time to do those maps.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a wrap for season 1. You guys, in a variety of little ways, contributed to this. Someone pulled the trigger, but you all kind of contributed.
Very unintentionally.
Little ways. Like, the idea wouldn't have come to mind if Azazel didn't build the Smurf project. Where it's like, all right, we'll just flood them with mines. Well, if we can flood them with a bunch of pre-made mines, that'll make them a little crazy. Let's flood them with 1 billion mines. We'll make them a lot crazy.
who's crazier than people that are being tortured forever?
Not
No one.
No one. Nicole just reaching out to
Well, Unity.
no, not Unity,
but-
the dead fetus guy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you can just contact Helllords.
Yeah.
And I had things for Matile and Lothar, but I don't remember them now. I don't remember them at the end of the night. Yeah. So we'll hand out stuff at the end of the session, but the next session, we'll decide where we want it to start. If there's a time skip or not or whatever.
Probably
We'll all figure it
sometimes
out.
would be nice.
But yeah, you are now in a post massive destruction world. You swept the board. So let's wrap it for the night, I guess. I was Devin,
Nicole.
Tyler?
Kevin.
Peter?
Mark.
and this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.